All right. This is The Dying of the Light, Season 3 of the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich and compelling stories. In a fictional world that we've been developing together for a while, you can find out more about the collective as well as the stories we're telling at the starfallcollective.com. And as a special note today, we have more content on the starfallcollective.com as of this long weekend. Feel free to go and check it out. You can read about some of the interesting features of this world in a narrative fashion, but you can also look at some of the new mechanics that we've had to introduce to accommodate some of those features. So we are back with episode 13. Let's find out who's in this episode. I'm Sir Robert Burbridge, a father and entrepreneur, and the host of this season's story. With me tonight are a few friends playing the characters in this drama. Please say your name, something about yourself if you like, and a brief description of the character you're playing. We'll start with Aaron Joy.
Aaron Joy Crossfield. I'm playing Davina, a human druid would-be defensive architect whose city was recently sacked, and now she is kind of on the road with a band of people she just met.
Okay. Josh?
Hi there, my name is Josh. I tonight am playing a character named Gulb, who is anything but gullible. He is someone who thinks deeply and is currently quite indebted to Aaron's character. I'm looking forward to picking that up and actually finding out who it is that I have pledged a life debt to tonight.
Jared, you're next.
I'm Jared. I'm playing a human bard named Yoshika. He's a gypsy wayfarer from the north. I'm trying to get back up there.
Okay.
Hi, I'm playing Belvari, a young human druid.
And Matt?
Hi, my name is Matthew Talamini. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island, and you can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com. I am playing the shirtless wizard, Diamondback. Diamondback currently wants to burn to the ground the last town that they were at and wishes that Yoshika would guide them back there. He's very discouraged at the patheticness of his interactions so far.
So this man is on like a Sancho Panza level, like it's so ugly.
Oh,
I wanted to bury my dead friend. I tried to climb a tree to get her corpse down from the spider, and I fell and almost died.
So,
but we like you.
in fairness to Diamondback, he is a level 1 wizard thrust out into he's a level 2 wizard now, that's right, but he was a level 1 wizard thrust out into the world that is not even hospitable very much to a level 1 fighter barbarian type. So, but
a world that eats level 1 characters for breakfast.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen.
Well, let's get started. Previously on The Dying of the Light. The party has found in addition to meeting Gulb recently, this orc cleric who has joined their crew for a little bit. The party.
Can I highlight the 15 seconds of Gulb getting skewered from the back out the chest? The tusk is literally gone up through his heart. You see the life go out of his eyes. He hits the ground, and Davina runs over and brings him back to life and gets him up on his feet. Right. So, and that's why Gulb has pledged his life to her, is because she's saved his life from he could see, he had the out of body experience. He saw himself leaving his body.
So just for technical listeners and for canon's sake, he actually didn't quite die, because then she would need a resurrection spell.
So close. I mean, out of body. I'm watching it. I'm right there.
I'm willing.
Belvari's a little upset that you haven't pledged your life to him. Also.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're late to the party, pal. So,
gotta save a fresh life, one that hasn't been pledged away.
We met Gulb. They spent the night in this hollow tree. The tree was nice and secure for them, relatively secure. They decided to stay the next morning and clean up the place a little bit, make it easier for them not to die, and make the tree a little bit more secure, especially Diamondback. At Diamondback's imploring of Yoshika, who's the de facto team lead, they decided to stick it out another day, get everybody well rested, well fed, and move through the jungle after that, I assume. So they have spent about half the day the next day doing that. They had a couple of little encounters. They found a couple of red-throated frogs that happened to be the exact same kind of thing that Diamondback had run into earlier, which was nice. It had some components that Diamondback liked. We also saw something very interesting happen, which was for the first time, one of the party had components of Detect Magic, and we saw one of their very important uses, which was as they were harvesting the frogs, they did not know which components besides the ones Diamondback already knew had magical attributes. Gulb used his Detect Magic components, cast a spell, and it let them see immediately which components had magic and which did not, so they could avoid wasting some time. For example, had they taken the frogs, say, one of the glands out of the frog, if it had no magic, they would use an hour trying to identify it, only to find that it had no magic. So Detect Magic came in really useful there. If you would like to read more about what you can do with Detect Magic, go to the StarfallChronicles.com. When you get in there, click The World, and one of the options in that tree is the Detect Magic that you can see what's different in it.
StarfallCollective.com.
What did I say?
Chronicles.
I think we should probably get that URL too.
Yeah, my mind keeps remembering old things. But so if you'd like to read more about it, go to the StarfallCollective.com, go into the site, click The World, and one of the sub options under there is Detect Magic, and you can read some of the mechanics of how that works. I will just clip that first one in post. So here we go. We are opening tonight. It is 2:00 p.m. They have about 4 hours until dark. They have just been securing the tree, the hollow tree. They built a crow's nest a little bit above to keep watch. It is approximately the same level of security as the tree hollow itself. However, it should be noted that there is no way to go from one to the other without leaving, either enclosure. Just because of the nature of it, they've set up a spot on a branch, fortified it a little bit, and they have to go from one to the other if they want to. But they will be able to keep watch, and that is fine. All right, we will jump into the action. So, last time, previously on LA Law. That's
Dum dum
from my childhood, Anyway, I don't know why I was watching LA Law as a child, but it was a good show.
I was watching the Lawrence Welk show. It was equally weird.
That is a weird show in some ways.
My great-grandmother loved it.
Yeah.
Your great-grandmother must have been on The Devil's Lettuce, because that was a weird show.
All right. Speaking of the devil, let's get into the action here.
And the lettuce.
It's 2 p.m. You guys have pretty well fortified. You've cleared out a radius around the hollow of the tree for, a good chunk of space. Let's call it, 30, 40 feet. I don't think we had specified. And you've secured the hollow. You've gotten it all cleaned up.
And Gulb has done perimeters. He's looked for game trails going out several hundred yards in any direction.
That's where you found the giant frogs.
Yep.
And you will remember that it is a rainy day. It is not torrential by any means, but it is certainly water is falling from the sky. There is no real and consistent accounting of why the canopies weep. That's what it's often called. The canopies weeping. There's no real and consistent reason for why that happens sometimes, but when it happens, it happens. The days are dimmer than they would have been, and there are obviously some dangers of like floods or anything. You guys are not on the top of a hill, but near the top. This is a hilly environment we had talked about, and you're near the top of a hill. You're not in danger of flooding, but the little creeks around you are, fuller from the rains, and your work has slowed down a little bit. It is 2:00. Everybody can pick something they want to do. You've got 4 hours until nightfall. The canonical things that you can do is you can try to make
Hunting.
Okay. And Gulb would try to have a conversation with
May have
Davina.
lost
Hold on
Sir
one
Robert.
sec. We just dropped connection to the stream, but we are back on it. Okay, great. So why don't we've got Gulb, Diamondback, Davina, Yoshika, and Belvari. You can work together on things. You can work separately. Y'all are in a really good spot to not have to work together if you don't. Sorry,
Stuff,
we
I
dropped
believe.
connection again.
Some people still had jobs going on, I think.
Yeah, narratively, we just finished those out after the frog encounter, and it is now 2:00, and we're all ready to
Gotcha.
continue on.
Well, Belvari would like to go hunting.
Okay. Belvari wants to hunt for just what, an hour, a couple hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
2 hours sounds good.
Why don't we? And you're going to be off in the woods by yourself doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's do that real quickly. Let's go ahead and have you hunt.
Do any of us see him going off and can go with him?
Belvari, what do you think?
Belvari would like to sneak away and hunt.
Roll your stealth.
Yoshika, you're okay with him just going off on his own?
His
think-
stealth check is a 21.
Okay, well, a 21's going to beat my passive perception, and I've
Yeah.
got the highest passive perception of anybody in the group. So
Okay. So you just are not there, but they don't really notice. They're doing their own stuff. Belvari, what I would like you to do, are you hunting for anything in particular?
Probably something largish.
Okay, I'm asking something like, are you looking for meat? Are you looking for
Oh, no,
components?
probably components.
Okay, no problem. And what we're going to do, we had not canonically settled this. We're
I
going
was looking for a real situation where I could find God, just get him face to face, just kind of spit lightly in his eye, and then do a little jig, and maybe pull the back of my pants down and shake my bum at him.
No, that's not
and
going to work.
say,
That's
"Neener, neener, neener."
no. That's 4 episodes from
Okay,
now.
okay.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
What is that?
You when you go out
That was
looking,
my impression of you.
when you go out looking, Belvari, when anybody goes out looking for stuff, you can definitely find stuff. I make the CR on it based on what you're looking for. So you want to look for a kind of a game animal,
Uh-huh.
kind of a bigger game animal. So what I want you to do for me is roll a D12.
Okay. $12.
You got a 12. Okay. And give me. Oh, hold on. I got to generate a list that has animals only. Sorry about that. You are definitely not hunting a persimmon tree.
I bet you I could take it.
Maybe.
There are people who go into the forest in search of.
Actually, I ate an unripe persimmon once. It is an experience. I will just say that.
It'll
All
fight
right.
back.
Belvari,
I think everyone should have it once, but
You can lose to a persimmon tree.
you ready, Belvari?
yes, I'm ready.
The thing that we had not settled canonically, that we are now settling canonically, is that in order to transform into a creature using your components, you do have to have magic on those components.
Okay.
However,
Gotcha.
there's plenty of those. That's not hard to get. And remember, if you want to transform into something like the jaguar that you did transform into, I think it was a jaguar or cougar. In order to do that, right, you don't need to have the same kind of animal, like the same variation. They can just both be, tigers, and that's enough. It doesn't have to be the same kind of tiger. Okay, you found Belvar, you did find a creature. You found a bear.
Uh-oh.
I will let you decide whether or not you want to fight the bear by yourself.
Is it a black bear or a brown bear?
It is a black bear.
Black bear. Nice. Yeah, I'll take it on myself.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I have to specifically get people out of this encounter. Sorry.
Is this like so far away that we can't even see it? Even when I'm up on my perch.
You know what I'm
going
to do?
My sling and my spells that go 400 feet.
I'm going to actually roll for how far it is, and I will... oops, sorry. Give me 1 sec. And I will tell you how far away he went to find his bear.
Diamondback, you want a magical map that has a tracking bug with Belvari on it, so you can always just see where he is.
I think maybe I do.
You wouldn't be able to read it.
Okay.
We need to get you some try.
He's a couple 100 feet away. So we're looking at about 200-ish feet away.
Diamondback, are you feeling like a big brother? Are you like looking out for this little guy?
I don't think I know that he's left the camp yet.
Just in general.
I just don't want any more of my friends to die.
Awesome.
Wow. I
Okay.
love it. Aaron reaches out for this wholesome, heartfelt, connective moment, and Matt's like, I don't want to see any more death.
I mean, it's that kind of world. I'll take it.
Yeah.
We're coming right off a fatality.
It's true,
Sounds
man.
like
Like there's a very
multiple days
Stanley
ago.
Kubrick. We're all huddled together, surviving.
Belvari didn't even know that person is so long ago.
Belvari, roll
But
initiative.
I think
Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Okay.
I think to be fair, Diamondback's plan was to
3.
study some of his components during this time, so it would take a noise or some, like Diamondback is not up in the tree looking out over
Right.
the forest right now.
Yeah.
We also
So-
haven't even begun to narrate anything happening to the rest of us. Belvari has literally just disappeared.
Yeah, but
so
I
here's
think I think that it'll be
Good.
Go on, Mr. GM.
So here's what happens. Belvari's out hunting. He is particularly looking for a large creature. He has found a black bear. It is... we'll talk about it. If he kills it, he'll be able to tell specifically what kind of bear it is. But Belvari, you come upon it, and neither of you gets a surprise on it. However, it did... when it encountered you and noticed your hostile intentions, it was more able to... act quickly than you. It rolled a little bit better initiative. It is going to see you, and the first thing it's going to do is you are, give me a second and I will tell you, you are 20 feet away from it when the encounter starts. I just rolled a D100 just to let you guys know. You're 20 feet away from it. It is going to run towards you and do a claw attack. It's just going to swipe at you with one big old meaty black bear claw. It rolls a 23. Does that hit you?
That so hits me.
Okay. And 2d4 plus 2. It does, hopefully not a billion hit points. It does 7 damage.
Okay.
It roars at you, rears back and roars. Having hit you, it seems to be exulting in the fight. It likes it. Your turn.
Belvari will turn into a cougar as a bonus action.
You're about 5 feet away, by the way.
Nice. Can't use my cougar charge. Let me delete that item real quick. There we go. There it is. And as a cougar, he will do his own little swipey goo attack. Where is that? There it is. It is a bite attack. He's going to bite, not a swipe.
Okay.
It is a +4 to hit. So here we go. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Oh, 9.
You do not get it. You lunge at it. So here's what happens. The bear swipes at Belvari and rakes it across him, gets his arm, does some serious damage to him. But Belvari, in just a moment, switches and turns back into a cougar. He had previously been a cougar. And then in his cougar form, he's tensed on the ground, ready in a moment. And then he pounces forward, leaps. But the bear is able to dodge out of the way. So the bite that he's planning, he's going for the jugular, but he misses and lands on the other side of him a couple of feet away. The bear is extremely confused. I'm going to give him disadvantage on this hit because the creature that he just attacked is now a completely different creature. And so he's not super smart, but he is a little bit startled. And I'm going to give him disadvantage, but he is still going to swipe around and do another claw attack on you. So let's see. I'm going to just roll 2 of them in here. And he ends up with a 9. Does that hit you?
Does not, because my armor class is now 12.
Ooh. Okay. So he spins around and swipes at this cougar creature now. A little bit confused. Doesn't hit him. Go for it. Your turn, Belvari.
Go ahead and try to bite him again, and I hit a natural 20.
This time, you really solidly land those jaws on its neck. I mean, you got a good, solid bite. Yeah. Now, your claws have, because you leapt at this bear. This bear is big, right? It's a black bear. It's not a huge bear, but it's a big black bear. What you did is you sunk your claws into its body at several parts and are holding on to it, and you got your maw right on its throat. Go ahead and roll your damage, and remember, double your dice because you got a natural critical hit. Natural 20.
Okay, so it's going to be 2d6 plus 2 instead of just 1.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me see. Over there. Okay, d6s. 1, 2. Got 9 plus 2, so 11 damage.
Okay. The bear is... what you end up doing is, you got those claws in it, and you the 2 damage that you did is the claws just sinking into its flesh. You managed to pull really hard and rip a good chunk of its throat flesh off. You haven't severed any of the major stuff in there. The arteries haven't been pulled, but you've gotten a huge amount of flesh off of its neck. Blood pours down, and you pull backwards, holding in your paws and in your mouth its flesh. It is the bear's turn. It has been severely hurt. It's still up. It's still able to move, but it is not in good shape. With that bite and feeling all that, it puts all of its attention onto its kind of maw and neck area. It is going to return and attempt to do a bite on you as well. You're right there with it.
Nope.
Oh, okay. And also, the bear makes 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its claws. I just saw as its description. So it's actually going to attack you both ways. We're going to do claws first and try to hit you. And then if it can grab you, we'll do the other. Does a 14 hit?
Yep.
Okay. It hits you for... Let's see here. A total of 7 damage.
Okay.
And because it was able to grab you and pull you in, it is going to also attempt a bite on you. Does a 7 hit you?
It does not.
It does not hit you. So it's able to grab you and rip some of that flesh from you just like you did, but it misses its bite attack on you. It is not able to get its teeth to sink in. Your turn, Belvari.
Nice. This panther is panting. He is down to 3 hit points.
Cougar or panther?
Sorry, cougar. I'm using the panther
Got it.
card because there isn't a cougar one that I can find. So this cougar is... I don't have another word that can replace panting. He's still panting.
Sure.
The cougar will try to bite again. That seemed to work last time. D20, roll it. 19 plus
that hits.
Something. Nice.
Your target is an 11 on this creature.
Nice. Okay, so then just 1 regular old D6 plus 2 is going to be a 6, so 8 damage.
This bear had 8 hit points left.
Woohoo!
Had 19 total. You did 11 last time and 8 this time. Here's what happens. You get it. It is not an overwhelming victory, but it is a victory. It's overwhelming in the sense that the bear is overwhelmed with, death.
Yeah.
But you leap up, you grab onto it. This time you are able, because the bear missed you with its bite, its head went down. You were able to get on its back, and you still went for the neck again, but this time you went for the back of the neck. Because it was missing so much flesh, you got a really good bite on there, and you just threw your head, you cranked it to the right, and broke its neck. The bear collapses to the ground, and you on top of it. You are now in cougar form, standing on top of a dead black bear. What do you want to do?
I will just go ahead and turn back into plain old Belvari and start harvesting with my little knife.
Sounds good. Are you going to try to get any flesh out of it, like bear meat?
That's not my priority, but if I'll take a couple steaks.
I'll let you do a D4. You roll the D4 because it's a little knife, but you roll a D4 and how many rations of meat you get out of it. And
Cool.
also roll me a... Sorry, go ahead.
I can't see what it said. 2.
Okay, you get 2
The
rations of meat.
dice appeared right behind the clear all button. So
Yeah.
So two bear steaks.
Uh-huh. And so what I want you to do now is roll me a... let me see here one sec. Roll me a D12.
Okay. Nope, that's a 10. Don't want that. How do I Nope, that's just adding to it. I'm just going to roll these 3 D10s and then ignore that.
That's right.
There we go. There's the D12. It looks like 9.
9? Okay, great. Go ahead and into your component pouch, you have a blue-tailed black bear. And I'm going to write that just in the canonical way.
Okay.
That's what it is right there. And here are the components that you get. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You've got 1 of its paws.
Okay.
6 teeth.
Okay.
5 scraps of fur.
Okay.
And 6, let's call them, I don't know what the word is, 6 pieces of scat.
Okay.
Good. That took you 2 hours. The 1 hour was the hunting, the other hour is the harvesting, and you can make your way back to the team.
Yep.
It's going to be 4 o'clock when you get back. Let's go ahead and hear from Yoshika, Gulb, Davina, and Diamondback. What do y'all want to do?
Hey, y'all, how long are we thinking of staying in this tree? Because a bear's a big thing, and if we know something is useful from it, let's get all of that from that thing. But not if we're going to move tomorrow, because we can't carry a whole bear. Do we know this?
I don't think that's something to discuss right now because our characters don't really have any knowledge of it.
Oh, good
I
point.
think you and Gold should talk.
Yeah. So, as far as we're concerned, the scene kind of the rain is falling. I think Gulb probably tries to go find some really big fronds of plants and tries to actually funnel it down and make a shower so that everybody can actually shower off and bathe. I think
so
that's
Gulb
actually
doesn't have to smell everybody in the tree tonight?
Yeah, so that's actually kind of a big part of their culture is when it rains, using the rainwater to do stuff. And so I think he, as his priestly, training ritual kicks in. And so he tries to basically do the simple bathing ritual thing where he goes out and I don't know if I need to make a survival check, but he tries to pull together enough fronds of plants and stuff to actually, catch a decent amount of rainwater. Sure. And, spigot it and everybody gets cleaned off. And he has a conversation with Belvina in the process.
That sounds good. Things like this that are relatively straightforward and not actually hugely challenging.
Sure.
What I want you to do is just roll me a D4 with roll me a d4 for how long it takes you, and you have to do it with disadvantage because of the rain. It's making it harder. So a d4 with disadvantage to tell how many hours it takes.
Okay. Well, it was a 1 and a 2, so 2.
Okay, great. So you're finishing about the time that Belvari comes back with his bear stuff, and you're talking with Davina as you do it.
I think he's basically going to ask her, this a good place, and he bangs his fist on the side of the tree. He says, but not a long good place. There's many paths near here. A large pig followed me to this place, and I think there are many more large animal in the area. So they're safe inside the hole, but not much outside of it.
Okay.
So Aaron, during this time when he's building this, do you want to be doing something as well?
Yeah, after that brief conversation, I am interested in hunting trees. I specifically want to see if there are any chokeberry trees or pigleaf trees around, because I want to stock us up on curing and mending and healing things.
Sounds good. So I'm going to let you know this. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to let you know that. I don't think you know that. So... No, I will. Sorry. No, I will.
I probably don't.
You probably do, actually. I think this you probably know. Detect magic spells are very useful in the jungle. They're a component. It happens. They're there, but they are a little bit more powerful. I think it's like a level 3 spell or 2. I don't know what it is. Gulb, you might know.
I was going to say, Davina, are you obviously looking for something?
I am, yeah. Chokeberry tree. If I get leaves, that's useful for curing wounds. Pigleaf tree, wood is useful for curing wounds.
I was going to say, if you mention something about that to Gulb and say that you're looking for stuff to cure wounds, then he'll basically ask you to hold up for a minute, and he'll sit down and have you sit with him, and he'll actually do a little ritual and pull out some components and begin and crush them up and begin looking for stuff in the area that will have healing properties. I guess basically he's from Gulb's perspective, like as a ceremony, they would probably do something to where now he's got like some sort of dowsing rod, or I don't know, Sir Robert, you tell me, but he would basically expend some of his detect magic materials and try to look for healing components in the area.
The way this works, I actually worked out the mechanic of this all. It is visible on the website, although you guys don't have to go there right now. I will just tell you. There is a chart of the mechanics of how this works. Give me 1 second, and I will tell you. I just need to... There we go, pages. All right. The detect magic... It's pulling it up. There we go. The way this works, if you, Davina, Aaron, if you're going to try to find just any creature that definitely has a magic component, using detect magic will give you a 100% chance that you'll get something with a magic on it, as opposed to like something that just has no magic. And the reason for that is when you use the detect magic spell, what happens is it affects you, not the world, and it gives you a heightened ability to see the magic, the dark mist swirling around things. So if you would just want to say, I want to find something that has magic on it, 100% chance. If you want to find a specific variety of a creature that you already have a component of, so or it can be a tree or it can be a whatever, you have a 25% chance of doing that, and the component you're using to find that is consumed. But you'll be able to harvest multiple components from it. And then finally, if you want to attempt to find a creature means here a plant, animal, monster, whatever. If you want to attempt to find a creature with a component that has a particular spell on it, so you're looking for, the Cure Wound spell or the whatever, but not a specific creature on it, based on the level of the spell you're looking for, there's a table that tells the chances of it. To give you a sense of that real quickly, the chances of finding a particular cantrip you're looking for are 25%. A level 1 spell, 17%, and so forth. It goes on diminishing. And a level 9 spell, you still have a good chance. You still have a chance. It is a 1 in a million, literally.
Okay.
So, would you like to find a particular spell? I just want some Cure Wounds, for example. Or would you like to try to find the particular tree you're looking for, which would be a 25% chance?
So 17% for Cure Wounds is not as good as 25% for Chokeberry and 25% for, what was my other guy that I wanted? Fig Leaf.
Okay.
Fig Tree.
So, yeah, pick one of those.
Can't I do both? I'm like wandering around the wilderness. I can keep my eye out for 2 trees at once.
You're going to crush one of those as a part of... You're going to use the component with...
Oh, I'm not
Gulb's-
just wandering and looking?
Gulb is helping you.
You can wander and look,
right,
too.
right.
And I'll just give you a regular chance, and it is relatively low because there's so many varieties.
But yeah, so the chokeberry was the one that you mentioned first. So I guess Gulb will
Okay.
try to do the ritual to find chokeberry.
Cool. Specifically Grimwood Chokeberry.
Grimwood chokeberry.
So get rid of one of the pieces of the Grimwood chokeberry plant or components.
I made like Lone Star. I'm already there.
Oh, we're getting rid from your stash? Thank you.
What's the point of having a life bonded Wookiee if the Wookiee doesn't burn components from his own pouch?
Gosh, I now feel like Kevin Costner Robin Hood. Gotta
There you go.
be saved right quick so we can be free.
Okay, and Aaron, if you will roll me a D4, and that's the way we're going to get your 25% chance. 75% chance you don't find one, but 25 you do.
All right, where do I roll a d4 on the thing so you guys can see it? I can actually just roll my plastic
Down in the
d4
bottom
button.
right, there's a little picture of a die in red. It's
Bottom
like
left. Bottom left.
icosahedron. Sorry, bottom left.
Okay,
And you can select which kind of die to roll.
got it. Thank you.
And
That can all
you'll
be
be
cut.
able to you'll be able to roll multiple times with the same detect magic by using another component if you can't find it, and another for this one. Oh, you rolled a 4. That was your 25. So you rolled a max on the die, which is what you're looking for. Awesome. You do in fact find a tell me the variety it was again.
Oh, let me go back to that screen. That was a Grimwood Chokeberry tree.
Okay. Great, you found that. You look for an hour. You're going to spend some time getting the magic off of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 components. Do me a favor, roll me a D8.
Four.
Okay, you get 4 components from it. Here are the components in their quantities. Where's my die? Let's see. Here we go. That'll work. You get... Well, that was a really long roll. You get 6 leaves.
Okay.
There are more leaves. You get 6 that are, usable for what you're trying to do. And you know what it is, right? You
Yep.
know the leaf. Okay. You also get 7 usable pieces of bark.
Okay.
7 root, pieces of root. And 1 more, because you had 4, right?
Yep.
You get 11 bits of flower. You get 11 flowers.
Okay. All right.
Good. And that took
Yay!
you
So soon I'm going to want to explore this bark and root and flower and see what it's useful for.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we have not yet heard from Yoshika and Diamondback, which y'all want to do.
I think I would probably just take the 2 undiscovered components out of the group pack and kind of offer them both to Matt. See what offer, like, you take one, I'll take the other.
Sounds
It
good.
looks like there are
A bunch.
like 8, 10. No, wait, 8
Yeah,
different
there's
components
rations
in the.
at the bottom.
But yeah,
Okay.
what
Oh, yeah, 8.
what Diamondback wants to do is study components. So just sit in a tree
Sounds good.
and catalog the effects of the magical effects of as many of his components as he can.
Yep.
And as many of the components as Yoshika will give him from the shared component pouch, he will take.
Okay, and you get 1 per hour unless you're using Detect Magic spell. If you have a component for that, it'll allow you to do multiple, and it's Detect Magic, so it's enhancing your ability a lot. But if you don't have any, or if you haven't thought of it or whatever, it's 1 per hour. So why don't you tell me which ones you want? You've got 4 hours to fill.
I have a note that says that my last task lasted me until 1 p.m.
Uh-huh.
So from that until 4 p.m. is 3 hours.
Right, we're doing the 2, 3, 4, 5 block right now.
2, 3, 4, and 5.
O'clock.
Okay. But I didn't do anything from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. yet.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
It was uneven where we ended in the last episode, so we picked up narratively at 2 o'clock. Like, let's say.
Okay.
I'll give you another one though. I don't actually care. It's not really giving it. You're right. We didn't record something in the previous episode, so sure. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 o'clock. So you get until 6 o'clock, starting at 1 o'clock. So you can have 5.
Sweet. Yes. So what did this change? Okay.
I was
like
holding
to...
out in my hand the parts of the antelope and the parts of the lizard. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining it wrong, but it seemed like they probably went together. And
Sure. I have more components of my own already that I don't know what they do.
Yeah, just tell me what you want to look up. You basically get to successfully, unless you roll a terrible roll.
Wait. Well, so I mean, Yoshika, are you giving me all? What would you like to give to me? Because once a component gets into Diamondback's pouch, he's not willingly giving it back to the party ever.
sure, Yoshika was just thinking hey, let's learn about these. He wasn't really thinking about that. He's just being like, hey, let's learn about these.
As in,
Okay, so-
Diamondback, you study these, I'll study those type of deal?
Yeah.
You should say that if that's what you mean. Yeah.
You should say that if that's what you mean.
Yeah. So I'll say, thank you, but the time is very short. I prefer to study some components that I have of my own that I don't yet understand very well.
Okay.
If you wish to study these components that are group property, please feel free. I'd be very interested to learn of your findings. But then, so he's not gonna take any if he has to give them back. So I would like to find out about the Fang of the white-scaled adder.
Okay. You consume one of those fangs. You find out that it has. I'm just going to tell you the spells in level order. So you have level 0 mending.
Great.
And I actually forgot to make you roll on this, but I'm not going to make you roll right now. Level 1 fairy fire.
Awesome.
Okay. What else?
Next, I would like to try out the bark of the water root elm.
Give me 1 sec. There we go. And you said it's the bark?
Bark.
Okay. Roll me a d20, and the point of that is you only fail if you get a 1. If a critical failure.
5.
Okay. It has you know everything on it, and it's got a level 1 cure wounds.
Awesome. That's quite helpful. And then I'm going to examine the teeth of the black-necked horse.
Mm-hmm. That horse, that particular horse.
It nearly kicked you to death.
Yes.
It has a level 0 Shillelagh.
What is that? Does it make the cudgel? Is there like a
It
magic
makes
cudgel that just
something
appears and fights on your
into-
behalf?
No.
Darn.
It turns a stick into a magic damaging item, and it does a little more damage.
Okay.
Which
There's
is so
some
much
things that if-
cooler.
There's some things that if they don't get hit by magic damage, get half damage.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
And then
And some things that can't be hurt at all except by magical weapons.
Oh, gotcha.
and then it also has. I'm sorry. Roll your d20. Dang it!
Here you go.
I just got to get the habit.
6.
Okay, and it also has a level 1 disguise self.
Nice.
And that's 3, so I get 1 more? 2 more?
You have done 2 so far, right?
Nope, done 3.
Okay. You
Right?
get-
Yeah.
if you've done 3, you get 2 more.
Okay. I would like to examine the hooves, a hoof of the black-necked horse.
Okay, roll your die.
2.
It counts. It's not a 1.
It's not a 1.
It has nothing on it.
All
Make
right.
sure our halflings do all the investigating so they can.
None of us are halflings, right?
I don't know.
Now the blood of the black-necked horse.
Roll your die.
10.
Great. It also has nothing. Which,
All right.
by the way, those 2 hours that you just had, detect magic. 1 would have given you a D. If you, I know you don't have detect magic, but to let anybody know, you would have been able to roll a D4 to see how many components you could identify, and it would have told you get 4 of them, and you'd be able to say nothing on it, exactly what's on it, with no chance of critical failure.
Nice.
Okay, good. So that's yours. I need Yoshika. I need you to tell me one thing you're doing during this time period. So, do you want to identify some components as well?
Yeah.
Okay, lay it on me.
And it uses up 1 component, right?
It does.
Okay, so we'll do the ones I have more of. I'm gonna use up 1 of the 4 bits of brain for the white pawed draft horse with an investigation roll. You said?
No, you just roll just a d20,
Okay.
and you only fail on a 1.
$15.
Good. It has a level 2 enlarge reduce.
Okay. Okay, and then a 4. Okay, I'll do. Oh, just 1 right now. You said, right?
What's just 1?
Do you want me to? I was just going to spend a couple of hours
Yeah,
studying a few
you
different
can
ones.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got 4 hours to spend. So you just did 1. You get 2 more.
Okay,
Or
now I'm
3
going
more.
to investigate the spiny-footed antelope brain.
Okay.
Roll a d20 again, you said?
Yeah.
Like last time? Okay. 18.
Good. It has level 2 misty step.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
And remind me, it's like, can you investigate it more and find different possible spells?
No, you found everything on it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, and
If
then
you got
I'll
a level,
do,
if you got a 1, you would have we would deal with that failure.
and then I'll do the teeth of the spiny-footed antelope.
Okay. It has nothing. You should have rolled.
Okay.
But whatever. I forgot to make you roll.
Okay.
And then you get 1 more component.
Okay, and then the 2 bones of the red-footed lizard.
Roll a d20.
Yeah, roll your
Yeah, I'm
d20.
doing it. I just had to switch screens there. 9.
9, great. It has a level 0 poison spray, which is really nice. It's an attack you can do to poison things. And it also has level 1 false life, which is something Diamondback would probably particularly appreciate. It's a necromancy spell, I believe.
Yes, I actually have. I mean, I don't know if he. I guess if he knows the spell, he'll know that it's a necromancy spell. But he might not know that Diamondback has a special relationship to necromancy spells.
Right. Okay, I'm going to roll your random encounter. You have now been in this tree hollow, in this single location for 5 watches. This is your 6th watch. And so I'm going to roll for a random encounter. It's when I say watch, I just mean 4-hour block. And you do get a random encounter here. Okay. Previously, you had your... at this place, you've had the boar and the... Belvari had the... What do you call that guy? Tiger.
Bear?
Lion.
Sorry? Oh, and the frogs.
Lion.
Some
Lion.
frogs.
That's right.
There's a lion.
All right, let's go back into our encounters.
Little frogs.
And all of you are around, which is kind of neat. You're in the area, the vicinity. Here is what happens.
Wait, when is this?
This is in the daytime. Happens in the neighborhood of 4 o'clock-ish.
So Belvari and Divina are off doing their different stuff.
So
No,
they're
I
back.
came back.
They're back by this time.
Oh, okay.
I did it around the middle of the watch. They took 2 hours each. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get this right here. The bad
Just
thing
as a
about
note, when Belvari got back to camp, he went to sleep and took a short rest.
sounds good. All right, there we go. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the good thing about this kind of thing is that this kind of random encounter is that you might get components or something out of it. The bad thing, obviously, is that, it's something attacking.
Might die.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, and you're worried about death. Belvari is young and dumb and
All right.
thinks he's invincible.
And all your evidence so far proves you're right.
Mm-hmm.
No counter evidence
Killed
yet.
a bear and a lion today. I'm just a young
On a
King
roll.
David.
Sorry, it took me 1 second here.
Didn't
All
have a
right.
sling.
It's the prophet's plight. He's a lunatic until he doesn't have an audience to be wrong.
So you guys are milling about doing your stuff, and in the forest, not being especially stealthy, but coming towards you, you hear some scrabbling through the brush a little far away. Thankfully, Gulb has made a nice big clearing around, so you see them there. But they are clearly somewhat aggressive towards you, not like wildly, but you see coming towards you 2 giant elk and 2 giant rats.
Whew, do we have time to flee to the cubbyhole?
To the what?
To our home? To our cubbyhole?
You can try
To
to
the
get.
tree.
Yeah, you can try to get into the tree. Y'all are around various places. So right now, those guys are about 60 feet away from you, coming towards the center of you, which is about where the tree is, right? Because there's lots of you there, and you are various distances away. I can give me 1 second, and I will.
I'm in the tree.
Diamondback's in the tree. Okay.
Yeah.
Yoshika, where are you?
I was outside in front.
Okay.
Front
And
of the
you're
tree.
going to be, Yoshika, 90 feet from the center of the tree. I'm just rolling a D100. Okay, so I'm going to put the tree. These guys are 60 feet. You're 90 feet in just a different direction from them. I'm going to put a Y. Gulb, what were you doing?
Gulb was helping Davina
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all are 50 feet coming back from. You've entered the clearing area that you've cleared out. You're 50 feet away. About a third of the way around the circle.
Okay.
This is Gulb and Davina. The creatures are there. Yoshika is here at 90 feet. And this is about the same time that Belvari is coming back, who is coming 80 feet away opposite the tree. He's 80 feet away from the thing, opposite the tree from the elk and stuff. So here's what you see. Let's say that due north, right? The elk are coming from the northeast. They are 60 feet away from the tree. Diamondback is in the tree, going clockwise around. So we're gonna, if you're looking at the thing from above, going clockwise. Gulb and Davina are in the clearing about 50 feet from the tree. They are on the southeast side. So remember that the creatures are coming from the northeast side. Y'all are on the southeast side of this approximately 60-foot radius clearing. Belvari is coming in from the southwest. He's 80 feet away, and Yoshika is approximately northwest at 90 feet. Y'all were just in different directions doing the different stuff, and Diamondback is right in the center. Go ahead and roll initiative, everybody.
Well,
16.
All right.
Ooh.
B?
That's the 20.
Gotcha.
the natural
Oh,
20.
darn. That means I'm going to go first, isn't it? And I don't know what I want to do.
Belvari, you got a 12.
Yes.
Okay. And Gulb, what did you get?
19.
Okay. And Yoshika, what did you get?
11.
All right. And I'm going to start this, and I don't quite understand. Okay. It grouped them. That's fine. That's fine with me. Davina, you go first. You see the elk before anybody else do. The elk and the rats coming in. Giant elk, giant rats, and they're moving towards the tree as though with some aggressive intent. Rats, you understand, probably are looking for things to eat. Elk are also sometimes just belligerent animals, and they just seem to be doing some maybe territorial dispute. But
Have they seen us yet?
Sorry, go ahead.
Have they seen us?
I mean, they're running towards the group of you.
I can't outrun elk or rats.
What's your movement speed?
Um,
On your sheet, it is 30 feet walking. So what that means here is you're 50 feet away from the tree. You could walk 30 feet, and then you could use your second action for this to dash up. You could use your movement and then dash to get the remaining 20 feet and up into the tree about 10 more feet. And you'll do an acrobatics check to see if you make it into the tree, because you're going to have to climb quickly while you're running. You can either do that, or you can hang back for a minute, or do something else.
yeah.
But you could make it into the tree.
I'll try that.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I will ready my spear in case. I'll do all that with my spear in my hand in case I need it.
Okay. Make an acrobatics check, and I'm just going to have you do a D against a 10. So you got to get better than 10. It's 50-50. Well, you have a bonus, so it's not quite 50-50.
Got a 9.
Did you roll a 9 with a physical die?
I got a 7 plus a 2.
Okay, great. So what happens there? You scramble up. You didn't manage to get in. You slip down. You're at the base of the tree right now.
Okay.
But the thing's right above you. You're in good shape. I need next is Gulb. You're next. What do you get?
Yeah. So Gulb, if this were a movie instead of D&D turn order, Gulb would have been glued to her side the whole time. And
Sure.
So the moment her foot slips, he sees her fall down on the ground. He just picks her up and just lifts her up off the ground and just puts her in the hole. He doesn't even throw her. He just picks her up and just puts her in.
So what's your movement speed?
30.
Okay, so you're going to be able to get to her again, but since what you're doing is not movement, that would be more of like an action. You're going to be able to get to her and lift her up next time, but you can't this time.
I can also use, as an orc, I can use my bonus action to move. So if I can use my bonus action to dash,
I'm cool with that.
then I can use my like action to pick her up and
That sounds
put her
good.
in.
And Diamondback, I'm assuming there's no reason you would have closed the tree's hole during the day. Nothing's happening.
Nope.
So you do manage to lift Davina up. Davina, do you want to fight that at all? He comes
I
in.
think it takes me by surprise, but no, I'm not fighting it. I am pointing my spear at the nearest creature.
Okay. Well, you're in
And-
the tree now, and with Diamondback in there, who probably doesn't know what's happening because you're in a tree. You're like in a hole.
And I think the last thing Gulp does is he looks at her and says, "Who should I bring in?"
Okay. It is now Diamondback's turn. You're in the tree. Suddenly, Davina slides effortlessly into the hole, riding two great green hands.
And tells me something's going on.
She shouts something to me.
Yeah, rats, horns,
Okay.
antlers. really bad, you know.
Diamondback is going to climb up into the crow's nest area that we built.
Okay. Sounds good. That is hanging off the west side of the tree. No problem. Then you just do that with movement in this turn, and it's
Yep.
a reasonable climb for you.
And I'll take my action so I can see these creatures coming towards us.
You can see them clearly.
Yeah. Are there any within 30 feet?
No, right now they're 60 feet away.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just in case it will frighten them away, I'm going to go ahead and sling a rock at them.
Which one? At what?
At the larger of the creatures.
Okay.
So I'm
one
seeing
of the-
some antelopes.
They're
Some
elk.
antelopes, right?
Elk.
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 And they've come
Yeah, elk.
they've come into our clearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've
How tall is that? 10 feet? At the shoulders?
Yeah, probably, I guess. Let's see.
Elk is a large
God.
sized creature.
These are giant
Yeah.
elk.
right.
Oh.
Normal
giant
elk
elk.
are like 5 feet at the shoulders or 6.
So I say I'm going to try and scare them off. Like thinking
These elk the size of draft horses.
maybe they're not out to kill us. Maybe they've just come in here. I'm going to give them a warning shot. I do have to make this with disadvantage, so it's probably going to miss anyway. But here goes. Actually rolled 2 10s, so it's a 15 to hit with my sling.
Okay. Sorry, real quickly. And just to let you know, Jared, they are 16 to 32 feet tall, canonically. So we'll say about 15 feet.
We could
That is
big.
very fearfully large.
Yeah.
real
so-
big and
One thing
scary.
to note: giant elk understand Common, Elvish, and Sylvan, but can't speak them.
Okay.
So I'm yelling, "Get out of our clearing, you elk! Get out of here!"
So what did you roll? What was your to
I
hit?
rolled a 15.
A 15 does hit. What's the damage?
Damage is going to be a fairly pitiful 6.
Okay.
Not that bad, actually.
Yeah, not bad. Great. You hit the lead elk, and you hit it with a pellet right between the antlers there, right somewhere near its head and neck. It is now the first giant elk's turn. The one you just hit. It is going to run, move, let's see, straight towards the tree. And it is going to, seeing you in the tree, it is going to ram the tree. You are in the tree, so normally that's an attack it would do. I'm going to give it a very difficult DC. That you're going to do a acrobatics check to see if you... No, wait. Athletics? Let me think here. Yeah, we'll do athletics to see if you get knocked out of the tree. Give me just a second here. It is a ram attack. It rolls a 17. That is your athletics check to see if you stay okay in the tree. No, I'm sorry. Let's
Okay.
make it acrobatics. Acrobatics check, stay in the tree, 17 or better.
Here goes.
Crud.
So it hit the
It's a
tree.
You can do
huge
it.
elk.
You can do it. You can
Its
do it.
shoulders are
Vibration.
twice as high as you.
No, I don't. I get a 10.
Okay.
Acrobatics.
You are about 20 feet up in the tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got a 10. Sorry, say it again.
Yes.
Okay, you're 20 feet up in the tree. And what I want you to do is y'all have secured this a fair bit. So what I want you to do is I want you to roll me a d20, and that's how far you fall because you're 20 feet. Just for giggles.
I rolled a natural 20 there.
Okay, you hit the ground.
Oh no! What a bad use of a natural 20.
Can Gulb use his reaction? Can Gulb use his reaction to try to catch Diamondback, seeing as how Gulb is standing there at the base of the tree?
You know what? I
Always
will
break
let
his
you
fall.
try. I will let you try to catch him, but if you don't do well on it, I'll let you catch him either way. But if you don't do well, you're going to split his damage with him.
Sure.
Okay.
I kid you not. I swear to all that is holy, I just rolled a natural 20. I promise you.
Wow! Awesome.
So many natural 20s today.
That's why I know it's super sus, but I promise you that rolled a 20.
I believe. So great. You actually, to Diamondback's delight, once he realizes what happened and he stops flushing completely cold in his flesh.
Don't worry, I got you, pretty lady. Don't worry.
Oh,
That's right.
Just
Diamondback
stuff everybody in the hole, Josh.
Diamondback and Gulb, you are now on the ground, about 8 feet from this elk that has just slammed into the tree. Davina, you're inside the tree, so I'm not going to make you roll to see if you get shaken, and you're at the center. You're not on one of the branches like Diamondback was, but you do absolutely feel it. You know what's just happened there. Okay, it is now the other elk's turn. It is going to run towards, also towards the center. It does not yet see Yoshika or Belvari. Y'all are outside the circle that Gulb cleared.
Stay
The other
away.
elk is going to run forward also and ram the tree as well, attempting to just, knock it over because it sees y'all all around the tree.
Oh man!
Does he create an attack of opportunity coming into my area, attacking something near me, but not
Nope, it's
attacking?
leaving.
It's leaving. That's right. It's leaving. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Wait, so
go ahead.
he must have seen Davina go in the tree, I guess.
No, actually, the hole. Y'all don't know this from the map that I've drawn,
Like
but the
they're
hole is
angry
actually
at the tree.
not on the side that he can see. He just saw you run to the tree and scramble around it. So, but he's attacking the tree. He sees that it's your refuge. He definitely hits the tree really hard with those antlers again. All I did was I rolled to his normal attack against the tree. He rolled a 25. And all right. And he knocks the tree. It does some serious stuff to it, but y'all are not. The tree is not destroyed. It is just damaged. Okay, it is now Belvari's turn. You're 80 feet away. That means you're 20
Stay
feet from the
away.
edge of the clearing, and you're 80 feet away from the tree itself.
Okay. Belvari will wild shape into a lion
All right.
and let out a loud lion roar. He needs to get rid of 4 lion components. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. Nice. He can still... Nope, he can't turn... No, he can still turn into a lion one more time. Nice. Okay, and he will move 50 feet towards the tree.
Okay.
How
Can
far
you
away
not-
from the tree was I?
You were
You're
80
a
feet, so now
lion.
you're 30.
But you're alive.
Yeah.
You were 80 feet away.
Yeah.
I could run all the way up, but then I'd have to use my action. His speed's only 50 feet, so he's just gonna get close, ready.
He doesn't have any kind of bonus action to like dash or
He's
anything.
really fast. He's 50. Yes, I can dash, and then I would just be standing there.
But that's the action. That's the standard action, not the bonus action. Okay, yeah. That's
Okay.
super long. Yeah, I get you.
And now it is Yoshika's turn.
Okay, so from where I am, I can see the 2 elk and the 2 rats.
You hear a big tumult. You're actually the farthest away. You're northwest of everything, and you're 90 feet away. You have to look through 30 feet of brush to see into the clearing. So you can see that you can see the big elk. You can kind of see what's going on. You don't know for sure about the rats or who's where.
Okay.
But you see that there's a big old commotion.
I turn around. So immediately when I hear the noise, I turn around. I look, and I probably see at least 1 or 2 of the elk. And I start to approach. I guess my movement is 30, so that brings me to 60.
Which is the edge
And
of the
then-
clearing.
What can I see from there?
The whole thing. You see exactly what's happening.
And how big are the rats?
The rats in this case are, give me 1 second, I will tell you. Small, which means they are in the neighborhood of about 2 to 4 feet tall.
That's a
Small
pretty
in
big
the
rat.
relative term.
Big.
Remember, these
Like
are
when they're on
giant
their
rats.
4s, 2 feet high at the shoulder.
Yeah, 2 feet high. Let's say 3 feet high at the back. They're 2 to 4 feet tall. They're big rats.
And the
rodents of
And the elk
unusual
are 15 feet tall, like up to their head or up to their shoulder.
the back. So let
Like
me
a
explain.
regular elk is
That is
15 feet.
gigantic.
Let me explain to you how this actually works. D&D does not tell how tall they are. There's variation. Some things are shorter than others, taller. Some humans are 6 inches, whatever. What actually happens here is that the giant elk are classified as huge creatures. That means they are in the range of about 16 to 32 feet big, right? They take up this big thing. They weigh about several tons. That's going to be the size of this creature. The rats are what are classified as small creatures, which is, a 2 to 4 foot creature, and they weigh somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 to 60 pounds. So they're big dog sized.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to do here is just make a quick judgment, seeing, like, if I see it's that big,
Right.
I'm going to be scared and think I'm going to die. So I'm going to
It's about twice
look
as
for a
big as
tree to
us.
climb up.
Yeah.
The elk are about twice as big as us, and the rats are about
There's
half
two
as
of
big
them.
as us. The size chart is each size larger is about twice as big. Once something is 2 sizes larger than you can run between its legs easily.
And we are medium creatures. All of you guys are medium creatures. The elk are 2 sizes larger than you. They're huge, not large.
Oh, they're huge.
They're huge.
They're as big as, for instance,
Like elephants.
stone giants,
Yeah, they're big guys.
elephants. Okay, wow. So we could easily run between these elks' legs.
Yeah, and the elk can easily stick. They can stoop a little bit and stick their faces in the hollow of the tree.
Well, I'm going to
Gosh.
look. I'm going to look for a tree to climb. A good one with some branches ready to, and then do that if I can.
Roll me a level 10, DC 10 acrobatics check to climb up it. Just get 10 or better.
18
Okay, you're
Or-
great.
plus 2. Yeah.
Yep, you're up in a tree. You found a tree. You're a good. How high do you want to go in it? Up to like 30 feet. Or actually, I guess it's 15 feet.
Higher
Try
than
use half your walking.
the gigantic elk can reach.
So you can get 15 feet up because your climbing speed's half
Okay.
your running speed. So
I'll go as high as I can then.
Okay.
And while I'm climbing, I am going to sing to Gulb. Eat or be eaten, dinner has come. We will stand firm and prevail.
Nice.
Try not to get
Oh,
eaten
man.
by a giant
Even
elk.
though I'm pretty scared.
Dinner has come is so delightfully ambiguous.
Someone's
Right.
going to dine tonight.
Somebody's gonna get eaten.
it is the giant rat's turn. The first one runs in, and just to let y'all know, this is a very dangerous attack. When I rolled for what y'all got, I rolled a 20 on a d20. So Sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry.
So many
sorry.
20s tonight.
Well, hey! You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. It sounds like you're saying sorry, but I think what you're trying to say is.
That's right. Something like that.
Oh, golly.
I don't know.
So the rats run forward. One rat. Let's see. They both actually they get their turns right now, and they both run. One of them runs 60 feet towards Yoshika. He sees you scramble up a tree, and rats can climb. And one of them runs 60 feet towards the tree, which is where everybody is. Belvari, you were diametrically opposite the creatures that were entering. So they're running towards you, but not like at you. They're just running towards the tree where everybody seems to be converging. It is now the two rats just moved, basically. The large rat that ran towards you, Yoshika, is not especially close to you. It's about 30 feet away in the clearing. You can see it. Davina, it's your turn. You are in the tree.
Oh, gosh.
Start doing some
We need
damage.
a distraction or something that will woo them away, or else we need to flee. But if we flee, I don't think we're going to be able to come back, and there's not a lot of time to find a new place to bunk tonight.
Yeah, there's
I
no
think-
fleeing.
Pardon?
Yeah, there's no fleeing. We just die.
Yeah. I've got no magic that's good for a distraction.
You have damage?
Yeah, can you help us kill it?
I have a shillelagh.
You
I
have
have
a
lots of
spear.
shillelagh. I have a spear. I have a dagger.
Yeah. Attack with something.
Okay. I will poke that rat as hard as I can with my spear.
Great. Roll it. You just click the +3 and that'll roll to see if you hit it.
Okay. Well,
This is bad.
I got a 1 + 3.
You got a critical failure. Okay. You, you don't hit it, but you do drop the spear.
How about that?
It's now out of the tree on the ground below you, but it's a spear. Somebody could return it to you on using their action. Okay, it is now Gulb's turn. You are holding Diamondback. It will not cost you anything to set him on the ground. Like, it's not going to be an action or anything. But you're cradling him in your arms, saying, "Hush, little Diamondback." Just
Some
kidding.
of those thunder weaves
Yeah.
would be pretty
I was
good
going to
ones.
say, Gulb, Diamondback doesn't constitute a heavy object to Gulb. He's got a strength that is in the positive.
Uh-oh.
He treats.
Hold on one second. We're offline. Just
Uh-oh.
a moment. There we go. We clicked back in. Go for it.
So one of the full orcs racial features is that for their purposes of like lifting things and pushing things and whatnot, they count as twice the size that they actually are. And he's a strong guy. So I think he would just like put him down in the hole right there. Like putting it'd be like me putting a box of cereal on a shelf at eye level. It's like not hard. So I think he just like lifts him up and just puts him there and turns over.
How
and
tall
goes,
are you?
He's 7 feet tall, and we said that this hole in the
Yeah, it's about 6
in
to
the
8
thing
feet up.
is
So you're able to just put him
Yeah.
in.
he's just putting him in at eye level. I mean,
Yeah. Very
that hard.
standard
Is
wizard story.
that shoving the rat into the hole?
no,
No,
Diamondback.
the
I'm
mat.
holding Diamondback in my arms.
Right, but there's a rat at the door of the hole, right?
No, the rat's on the ground at the base of the tree.
On the ground.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think he just like puts Diamondback in the hole and takes out his cudgel and brings it down on. He doesn't like whomp the head. He just stabs it down into the ground, and you see this explosive shockwave, like it's like a bomb goes off, and you see the rats go flying. They need to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw against the spell Thunderwave.
Did you just do Thunderwave while I'm like
No. You're
2
inside the
feet
tree.
away from you?
You're inside the tree. You're inside the tree.
I'm
tree.
within Thunderwave's range, bro.
No. You're shielded by the tree. You're inside the tree. That's why I put you inside the tree. Don't worry about it. You're inside.
Okay, and
I
what
guess the
components
DM will
did you
have
use
to
for
rule
Thunder
on
Wave?
that.
Say what?
And what component did you use for Thunder Wave?
I used the ichor of a spiny winged wasp.
Okay, so
that
what y'all
gives
see
me
happen
my-
is he reaches in and into his pouch, and he has a little thing of ichor, and he smears it roughly on the surface of his hammer, and slams his hammer down. Is that what you're saying you do?
Yep.
And that ichor on it, he knows has that Thunder Wave spell on it. So what does that do? Tell everybody what Thunder Wave, what the effect is.
So these guys, a thunderous wave of force goes sweeping out, and each creature that fails their save takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away.
Okay, and what's the save?
13.
And how far away do they have to be?
Within 15 feet.
Okay, so you're going to get the one of the rats and both of the elk. Does size matter on Thunder Wave?
Nope.
Okay, so they got to do it.
No, they just have easier save.
Okay,
It's just DC 13. I mean,
Not like
presumably.
a lower, yeah. It's
Yeah, the
easier
DC
for
will be
them
the
to
same.
save.
Presumably, they're hardier creatures, but they can still fail it.
and you
so.
said it's a con check or
DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
DC 13 con saving throw. I'll roll that here. The rat got a 13. Does that go to you or the rat?
I think if you meet it, you make it. So the rat succeeds and only takes half damage.
Okay, and how much
Yeah.
damage does it take?
Well, it would have been 9, but instead it's 4.
Okay, the rat is definitely wounded significantly by that. They are not hardy beasts. Elk number 1, giant elk number 1, does a natural 20. Amazingly, rolls a 22. So he takes also the same damage, 4 damage. Okay.
Yep.
And that was the one that also had already been hurt by Diamondback, so it's taken some bit of damage there. And then the other giant elk, rolls a 19, which is a 21, and so he takes 4 as well. Great.
Now that I have the unmitigated attention of 2 giant elk.
What are they? Are they pushed back?
Nope.
No.
Because they
Wow.
saved. So Diamondback, your turn.
Right.
You are in the tree, Diamondback.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
One note, everything that was unsecured on the ground, so the spear is thrown 10 feet away.
Oh yeah, the spear is launched.
Yep.
Maybe it was thrown 10 feet towards one of the creatures in the...
10
Just
feet
as a
into
note.
the air, and I
Could've
reached out and
happened.
grabbed it.
You know what I'll
Could do
do?
that too.
Just for giggles, I'm gonna roll a d20 because I like these kind of random things. I'm gonna roll a d20, and if I roll this as a, let's call it 17 or better, it'll strike the rat with bludgeoning damage. Like, hit it.
Nice. I like that we both came up with the same number.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Okay, so it clatters
That's
off
not
the
the
ground.
number I had, so I feel like you should re-roll that.
Diamondback is going back up the tree, back
Okay.
up into the crow's nest.
You can do
where
that
he
with your
was
movement,
before.
no problem. And what do you want to do with your action?
Because this was the plan. We've got a defensible quadrant around the tree. We've got a crow's nest that I can fling rocks down at people or whatever, and I'm gonna, in this case, actually I'm going to get out some orange winged yellow jacket leg, and I'm going to take the little paper packet off of that, and I'm going to cast Chill Touch.
Okay.
What that is going to be is I'm going to make a ranged spell attack, and so for that I'm going to roll a d20 and add my spell attack modifier, which is +4, versus just their regular armor class of the rat, which I'm targeting.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 23 to hit the rat
You do not
with
hit.
Chill Touch.
No, I'm just kidding. You do.
Oh, I was like, what?
This rat is the avatar of the god Vecna.
What kind of?
It's going to
Hold on, we're offline just a
necrotic.
sec. We're offline just a sec. The stream is corrupted. Okay, and we're back online. So, what kind of damage does the rat take?
So a ghostly hand rises up and grabs onto the rat, doing 4 damage.
Okay.
And the rat cannot regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
And what this chilly hand does, you see a ghastly sort of ephemeral blue hand, as you've seen several other times. Several hands reach up, and one of them grabs the rat directly on its snout and just pulls it down into the ground, lodging its head firmly in the ground, finishing the rat off. It is now sticking up from the ground, snout down, tail up, and is dead.
Nice.
One down, 3 to go.
Giant elk.
Oh my god.
Give me 1 second. The giant elk is going to... Giant elk number 1 is going to do a hoof attack on the tree again. Not ramming. It's right up next to it. It's going to do a hoof attack on the tree. And it rolls a 19. It's sufficient to hit. And it
Gulp
does...
stares in wonder and amazement as something other than his own poor, frail, mortal coil is pounded upon by the hooves of this giant, colossal
Gulp is
beast.
going to die.
Yeah. He begins to picture
the
the
third
idea of
time
that
today.
hoof hitting his chest. Sorry.
Okay. The other elk, that's what I was looking for. The other giant elk is going to ram the tree again as well. This time it will try to shake Diamondback off again. And it rolls 17, which is sufficient for our tree, how I have set it up. And it
I feel
does...
like our tree's going to die.
It's trying. I mean, they're trying. Okay. The tree is...
This is another...
Yeah, you need to roll another thing, and I want you to roll... Sorry, this time you have to roll another 17 is your DC for that.
Acrobatics check.
Acrobatics check.
That is going to be an 18 plus 3 is 21 for Diamondback's acrobatics.
He
Nice.
knew what was coming this time. He's able to grab onto it when he sees the ramming about to happen, and he is shaken but not stirred from his place. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting the tree's hit points. Okay.
Diamondback throws up a ninja hand signal and says, Snake Clan!
Good job. Belvari the lion is 30 feet from the tree. You can see Gulb, and you can see what's basically been happening, Belvari. The rat you saw is now dead. The giant elk, both the giant elks have attacked the tree. One used its hooves, which does not shake anybody loose, but it does damage to the tree. The other is ramming the tree that is your safe spot for the night. It would be.
Gotcha. Can I tell that one is a little more damaged than the other?
You can. It's a little bit. You've seen it get hit a couple of times. Also, there is a giant rat running not towards you at all. It's kind of parallel to your path. You don't know why it's running, but it seems to be running outside of the, towards the edge of the clearing away from you all.
Gotcha. And is Gulb within 5 feet of the more injured caribou? I mean, elk.
Yeah. Gulb is in amidst the legs of the elk and is 5 feet. Is within
Nice.
5 feet of either of them.
Belvari will run as a lion, jump, and using pack tactics, attack that wussy caribou. So he gets advantage on the roll because Gulb is there. And because he is pouncing, I've moved at least 20 feet. If I hit, they'll have to do something. So let's see if I hit first.
You're going for a 14. That's your target.
Okay. I'm going to just roll 2 of them and see what they look like. I got a 19 was the highest, plus something.
You got it.
I hit.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, so he needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw.
Okay. These are strong creatures, but let's do it. DC 13.
Yeah.
Bro, every day these elk
Wake
Wow,
up
man.
and choose excellent before they get gains, bro. These elk are yoked.
This elk, which has a strength of 19, only rolled an 11. So what happens to it?
It is now knocked prone.
Ooh.
So, in addition to my bite attack, I will also roll a. No, in addition to my claw attack, I will also roll a bite attack. So
It has prone things have disadvantage on melee attacks against them because they're on the floor. You just smash them.
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. Nice. So that one that I did was.
Or you have
let me roll
advantage
the
attacking it.
damage for that.
We knew what you meant.
But if I were to fling a stone at it, I would have disadvantage because it's on the ground.
Right.
Harder to aim at.
Sorry, I did a claw attack. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah, no worries.
hard to do everything at once. 1d6 plus 3. 1d6 plus 3. So that's 8 damage from the pounce and claw. He was knocked prone, and then I will do my bite attack with advantage, plus 5 to hit. So I got advantage on the first one because I was pouncing.
Okay.
What happened here? Oh, there it is. Again, attack with advantage. Roll that. No, it's in the corner. I can't see. Oh,
21.
2
21.
and 19. No, it's the 19.
Okay.
I was trying to do it with advantage. And that gives me, so that hits. And I roll a 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
There's the 8. Roll it. So it's a 4.
4 damage. That's better than 0.
Diamondback shouts, Belvari has knocked it over. Everybody, crush it while it's on the ground.
So I don't know if you know that this is Belvari or not. It's a lion.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to say, you might think it is because you've seen him transform to and fro.
He's transformed into animals. He's attacking our enemies.
Yeah. So let's say you do know that. Sure, great. You made a really good guess, and you are correct. This giant elk that you attacked, the more wounded one, is severely wounded now. It has crossed to being at less than half of its hit points. It is laying on the ground, bellowing, and ready to figure out what it does. But Yoshika's turn. Yoshika, you are up in this tree. You're 15 feet up. There is a rat on the ground 15 feet below you and about 30 feet out. And you see these elks doing whatever they're doing over there with your friends.
Okay, I am going to the elk still standing.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to yell out, "Your horns have fallen off, elk! Your mate is in heat and approaching your rat friend!"
Oh, my.
Wow. I think you got his attention.
Talk right there.
I think you got his attention.
As a vicious mockery.
Okay.
That's some Shakespearean vicious mockery right there.
And what does that do? How does the impact?
He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Or take 1d4 psychic damage and have a disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay. What is the difficulty of that savings throw?
If you click spells, it'll be your save DC on D&D Beyond.
Let's see.
In the lower right-hand corner, there's a big box that says actions and spells and equipment across the top of the box. If you click spells, directly below that will be save DC.
14, is that right?
14, it looks like, yeah.
And let's see. He rolled a 3, so he has a 5 total. So he takes 1d4 psychic damage, and he definitely understands you because he understands common.
And I think it's pretty commonly universal to know that when your woman is in heat and approaching the presence of your enemy, it's not good.
So you roll me a d4. He takes 1d4 psychic damage, right? roll that for me?
Yeah, rolled a 3.
Okay, 3. Great. He's a bit wounded. He's in really good shape compared to the other one. It is now Yoshika just went. So giant rat running towards Yoshika.
I also add in a bit about Lion. Your mane grows larger by the second.
Okay.
To give him a bardic inspiration,
Yeah,
just as a bonus action.
Jared, you are opening up an entire world of possibility to me of a bard whose bardic ability is just commentating.
He's the bardic sports commentator.
You have blown my brain out of the top of my skull, Jared.
Hey
Sorry,
Yoshika, what's
ahead.
the what die have you given Belvari to use?
D6
1d6
or D8?
D6?
on an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and it can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome.
Okay. So the rat
Quite
runs
powerful.
towards the base of Yoshika's tree, and it uses its movement for that, and that's all that it has the ability to do right now. But it is now at the base of your tree, Yoshika. It ran the 30 feet and closed it, so it's like getting ready to like look up at you and give you a toothy snarl. It is now the other rat's dead. It is now Davina's turn again. You are in the tree. You can do things, including you have a dagger or an unarmed strike, and some components. Aaron, I think you might be muted.
I'm going to cast a Shillelagh spell.
Okay, great.
I'll downgrade my number that did that.
Mm-hmm.
Shillelagh is a bonus action, so you can still attack with it if you want.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was got it. That was the point of casting it, so that I could bludgeon anything I could reach. Can I throw this? Will it hit?
It's got range, but you do better to just use it as a spear and just stab with it.
And the elk are definitely the wounded elk is on the ground and a little bit out of reach, but the standing elk is all kind of tangled up in the tree, all next to you. So you can definitely stab
Whack
at
it on the head.
Oh, Aaron,
Will
do you
do.
have? Can you do the whip, the thorn whip?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Because if you can do thorn whip, you can melee attack him with advantage on his back.
Oh gosh, I don't remember. Did I need anything special to do that?
I think that's just another one of the
An ability that
cantrip.
druids have.
Yeah, the druids have. I don't know if you've got it.
It's a cantrip, so Sir Robert has been having us expend
Yeah, you have to have it.
resources to cast it.
Okay. All right. Right.
All right, I
Sorry.
don't have it, so I'll go with the.
I'm still thinking in
for the
terms of
future,
old
man.
spell skills. Sorry.
That's all right.
So I will stab the leg or haunch of the elk that's close.
Great. From the tree's heart, you stab at it.
With the shillelagh, you're bludgeoning it.
I mean, bludgeoning.
Okay.
You're swinging at it.
I'll whack at it. Cool.
What do you have?
Well, actually, I guess they're both being engaged in melee, so you'd have advantage against them either way.
Wait, so you're in the tree,
yeah,
but you're attacking
I'm in the
it through
cubby
the
hole.
hole you made?
Yeah, she's leaning out
I'm
of
in
the
the cubby
hole
and I am
whack.
like whacking out the door.
Oh,
You
out of
hit it
that.
right in the knee.
You should attack the one that's lying on the ground because you'll have advantage on it.
It's out of reach.
too high up. It's out of reach.
Oh. Never
And I'm
mind.
too chicken to hop out. I like the defensive architecture. This is the safest place I can be. Do I roll something? See how it goes?
Yeah, you have to roll your hit, whatever the hit is for the shillelagh.
Unless you want to take the dodge action and just be unhittable, but that's up to you.
So I don't know how to.
Promise
I don't know
you
how to
hit
find
ability
tell
the.
you.
you can't deliver.
Is imbued for the duration. You can use your spell casting ability instead of strength for the attack and damage rolls or for melee attacks. And the weapon's damage die becomes a D8. The weapon
Damn it.
also becomes magical. So you're going to want to roll your spell casting ability, I guess.
So you're probably have a wisdom spellcaster?
Mm-hmm. As a druid, yeah.
You click on spells, it has spell attack plus there at the top.
So you got a +4.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right.
roll a +4, a d20 +4.
Okay. My d20 rolled a 4, so that'll be an 8.
Okay, you miss. It's a good hit. I mean, it's a good swing, but you don't make contact in a way that damages it at all. It is and you still have your weapon.
You didn't drop it.
Gulb's turn. You didn't drop it. That's right.
Yeah, and Aaron, you keep the
I hear that I made
for
it
1 minute.
Okay.
Which is 6
I hear
rounds
that I
of
made
combat.
it. Hello. Nice.
Okay, it is Gulb's turn.
Yep. I would like to attempt to put the elk that is currently prone and on the ground into the pinned condition, if that is possible to be achieved. Because of my size, I have the ability to act as though I am one size larger than I actually am. So I get to behave as though I'm large. And the rules say that you have to be adjacent in terms of size category to initiate a physical grapple. But because I am acting as though I'm large and he's huge,
let's do it.
I get to initiate.
Yeah.
So Gulb reaches out and grabs the antlers of this huge elk and just kind of lifts the head up off the ground a little bit and yanks, because he sees that he's about to, be able to move his neck and his body to like get his legs underneath him. And he's just going to give it a huge shear and pull him off of his legs and try to basically make a grapple or a strength check to try to keep him from getting up.
Okay. Let's do it.
That is audacious.
Yeah.
No, Josh, all grapple does is keep it from moving. It doesn't stop it from attacking you.
Yeah.
But it'll be disadvantaged on the attack because it's prone.
Right. So if it just takes a bonus action to initiate a grapple, then I'm going to initiate the grapple and then use my action just to hunker into place and just take the dodge action from within the grapple. If you can, I don't know.
No, it's an action to grapple.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a standard action? Okay.
Isn't it?
Let's see.
I've got the Grappler's Manual.
Actions in combat is...
Yeah, you use your attack action to make a special melee attack called a grapple.
Okay, all right. Then I grapple the elk.
Okay. And does it have to roll anything, or you just do successfully?
I think that once you have initiated the grapple, if the other person wants to try to do something, they need to succeed. Right?
No,
I've got them. Right?
The target of your grapple.
Go ahead.
The target of your grapple must be no more than one size larger than you and must be within your reach, which is okay because you count as an extra size bigger. Using at least one free hand, you try to seize the target by making a grapple check instead of an attack roll. A strength athletics check contested by the target's strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check. The target chooses the ability to use. You succeed automatically if the target is incapacitated. If you succeed, you subject the target to the grappled condition. The condition specifies the things that end it. You can release the target whenever you like. No action required.
Okay, so this is contested.
It's a contested strength versus strength or strength versus dexterity.
I wish that there was something that gave you some amount of advantage to initiating a grapple while someone is prone.
Well, either way, let's roll our strength. You roll a strength check and I will roll a strength, and we'll see what happens.
I rolled a 19.
Nice. I rolled a...
And I have a +1, which means that it's a 20.
My total is 10.
Yes.
Elk.
You grappled a elk.
Yeah, you've got this.
You see the giant blood in him. This is so great.
Diamondback. So what happens is Gulb runs up. He grabs the antlers of this giant elk because the elk's laying on the ground and he can reach him. And he gives him a big old crank turn and pulls him and is able to kind of lock those antlers among some low branches of the tree and kind of really gets that giant elk just locked and held in there. So this is going to make it so that the elk, which was probably going to stand up on its next turn and not be prone, can't do that. Now it is stuck down. Diamondback, you see that. It is your turn. There is a significantly wounded elk. It's less than half of its hit points, and there's also a giant elk that is not so damaged, standing up with its antlers near you, but its head below you.
So I really want to help Gulb get rid of this one that we've almost taken out, but it's hard for me to aim at it with my thwacky thing. Yeah, so I think that what's the range on? No. I'm going to go ahead and take some of my red-eyed pig scat out of its little wrapping paper and crush it up and cast an Eldritch Blast.
There you go.
Oh wait, no, you know what? I'm sorry. Never mind. That's a ranged attack, which I would have disadvantage on. Sorry. You know what? Diamondback is going to shout, "Snake Clan!" And he's going to climb down the tree and try and stick his dagger in the prone elk.
So this elk is really thick. Really, it's a big creature, gigantic creature. What's your jumping?
Oh, I was planning on using my movement to climb down.
Yeah, I know, but what's your jumping?
I don't have a jump speed.
I mean, your jump distance. How does that work? Isn't that calculable in 5e?
Yeah, it is. I mean, but I have. You can calculate your standing jump and your running long jump.
Yes.
And they're based on your strength score.
I will look.
So I could running long jump 10 feet, and I could standing jump 5 feet, I believe.
All right. I will, if you want to. You don't have to. I will let you jump/fall onto it with your dagger, and if you hit it, I'll let you do double damage for that.
Oh, okay.
Up to you.
I mean, should I make an acrobatics check? I am good at acrobatics.
You should make an acrobatics on a critical fail. If you get a 1 on a critical fail, you're going to take normal fall damage. But
right.
I'm going to give you 50-50 on landing it safely and getting the stab in, getting the double damage. And then do your normal damage and see if you hit it.
Mr. DM, I will take your bargain.
Great.
Here comes the jump. So it's
so awesome looking.
Snake Clan.
Matt, tell him you'll do a double axle if he raises it to a bonus D6.
No, it is a 15 plus 3 is an 18 on the acrobatics check.
So you do land, and because you got above the 10, you land safely, and because you got above the 10, you're going to get the double damage.
Nice. So here's my dagger attack. The dagger attack is going to be a 21.
You do hit. You hit very well.
And I get 2 D4s?
Yeah, just roll it as though you had done a critical hit.
Nice. 8 damage with the dagger. So I land on it and just dagger right into the elk that Gulb is holding down.
That's right.
Yeah.
You actually, everybody around you is aware of this because this is a surprising thing. You're doing a kind of amazing sort of. You rolled really well. You did a terrific acrobatic job. You flip off of this branch. You kind of roll off of it almost like a scuba diver, but forward. And you just plunge your dagger. You got it all locked in. And you plunge that dagger straight down. You land. And instead of a normal dagger thrust, what was that, Matt?
So, by the way, this dagger that I'm using is in the shape of a diamondback fang. So it's like really long and curved and pointed. So I kind of am holding it like down along my along my arm shin.
Are you like
Your
ripping
forearm
open
there?
its belly?
Forearm,
It's
so sort of along my
Fibia.
forearm, and I'm as I land, I'm sort of driving it in at that curved angle.
Yeah. Okay, great. So you land that, and it helps stop your pull. You let it pull you down, and you just rip a hole in the side of this elk. It is in terrible, terrible shape. That elk that is on the ground is now ready, and it is going to try to attack Gulb because Gulb has locked it down. It has disadvantage to make this attack, but it is going to try to use a ram attack because you've got its antlers. It's going to try to hit you with it with disadvantage, which is to say it rolls a. Wow, it rolled a 24, but then it rolled a 9.
Oh, I'll take that action.
Did it hit you?
Nope.
Okay.
I do have better than a 9 AC.
It thrashes terribly on the ground. You can see its whole body writhing, and man, it moves you. I mean, it's shaking you really hard, like a dog that's got a piece of meat. You know how they do that thing, but it is not able to do any damage to you with that ram attack. The other elk is now standing. It is an intelligent creature, intelligent enough. Can't speak common, but it is going to do a. It is going to also try to get you off of its partner here, and it's going to do a regular attack against you. Does your grappling the elk mean anything of a condition for you, or is it just you're there grappling it? Okay.
He has to have a free hand.
Okay.
Which I do. I don't have to do it with. Yeah. I'll just add that onto the feat of incredibleness that with one hand,
That's right.
He just reaches out and takes hold of one edge of the antler and just, cranks it down and tucks the other side of the antler up underneath some brush.
Sure.
And then just kind of like turns up and, lifts up the hammer to the big one.
I feel like
The
I'm
other
watching something truly amazing like Kung Fury.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you've got an orc the size of a person battling with two huge elk, and he's got one of them by the antlers.
Yeah.
Right? This is either the stupidest, most suicidal, or awesome thing ever.
And a diamondback snake just jumped out of the tree and bit one of them with an oversized fang. Okay. It is now, he's going to try to ram you too. Does a 15 hit?
No!
He has to attack at disadvantage.
No, this is the standing one.
Yeah, that's the one that I viciously mauled.
Okay.
Oh,
Excellent.
Yes.
All
His haunches, his woman's haunches. You got him where it hurts, bro.
Let's do the other roll. All right, so it's a 15.
You got his brain on the ropes.
Let's see what happens here. A 15.
Oh!
Are you kidding?
Nope.
Oh.
Come on. Let me
Rolled a 9
double
and a
check
9.
my AC because I think it's a 14.
He does.
Oh. If I heard more than one die, then the chances of me surviving this moment are basically nothing.
He does 12 damage.
Yeah, you just see him.
Hold on, we're offline for a sec. Just a sec. Hold on. We're
Racks
offline.
of
We're
elk,
offline.
like-
Just a sec. Hold on. It's trying to reconnect, and there we go. We're back in.
You see Gulb standing there holding with one strong arm this rack of antler that is literally bigger than him. And you see him standing there pridefully holding the elk in place. And he's just making this like stern lock-eyed with the big elk. And he's like, "Whoa!" And the elk just goes and just locks antlers with the other elk. And you see his body just
crumbles. So
between these antlers and so he's just being ripped apart.
Good news for you is that it's one attack. that does not force you to take a death save. It is not an instant kill, but you do fall unconscious from this, and you'll have to start doing death saves from this moment. Let us, and that's,
with multiple tines of elk horn
that's right,
jabbing out through his body in different places.
All right.
He will do this.
Belvari, it's your turn. What do you got? Lion Belvari.
Okay. Is that the previously prone elk still prone? I didn't catch it.
He is still prone, yes.
It's still prone, yeah.
Nice. So I will make my bonus attack action to bite him.
Okay.
Which is +5 to hit and 1d8 +3.
And you have advantage because it's prone.
Right. I'll roll 2 of them.
Make it count. This is the whole reason why.
17 +5 is.
You absolutely hit it.
You did me proud. You did him proud. Goose, Maverick, you're avenging Goose.
And then 1d8 +3. Roll that beautiful beam footage. So 6 damage.
Okay. This elk. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna. You go ahead.
This elk bellows. You bit it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you sink your giant lion teeth into it, and you grab it like right on its shoulder bit, right where the shoulder attaches to the neck. You had such good success with that with the bear recently. You grab it and you just pull, and man, this elk is in terrible shape. It's still able to move around a little bit, but it is deeply wounded and near its end.
Okay. Oh, never mind. Okay,
that you took.
I was just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So my other attack, I think, will be to turn and no, I'll go ahead and claw the prone one.
Mm-hmm.
Roll 2 again. So 19 to hit.
That's a great roll. Yeah, that definitely hits again.
And 1d6 +3.
Oh, crud, Sir Robert! I am so sorry.
6 damage.
Okay.
This is part of the thing with Gulb, is that when exactly does Wrath of the Storm land, right? Because Gulb has the ability to do this instant reaction to being hit by another attack, and the question was, how does that reaction stack up against the attack of the other person? Like, basically, does he get that reaction in before he dies if he's about to take a bunch of damage?
So when a creature within 5 feet of you that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to cause the creature to make a Dex savings throw on a 13, or take 2d8 lightning or thunder damage, your choice. Do you have anything lightning or thunderish in your inventory? And
I do.
Okay. We will. Give me a second. We'll resolve this thing with Belvari. So what happened is, as you collapse, we're just going to narratively make them happen as simultaneous attacks.
Right.
Because they're different creatures that are being attacked. So Belvari gets this claw attack in and just rakes it down for 6 damage. The elk, which is bellowing with great force on the ground. Belvari, you actually get your claw in there right under its jaw and just rip your claw straight down its throat, splitting a vein, a good 3 feet of split on a major artery, right? The elk's blood pours out in a small torrent at the base of the tree, and it lies motionless.
Nice.
The tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants.
That's right.
The name of our home in the forest is now and forever the Tree of Liberty.
Except you didn't hear that because Belvari could only think that. He can't talk.
A lion roared this majestic message directly into the minds of everyone in the forest. It's the most majestic roar ever.
Josh,
yes.
What
I
component are you
couldn't
going to
hear you
use?
over the sound of a lion roaring freedom. What was that?
What component are you going to use that has something electrical like?
The component that I will use is Spiny Winged Wasp.
It's Ichor?
And it will go from...
Okay.
It's Ichor, and it will go from 4 to 3.
Okay, we're going to make our con saving throw. Our dexterity savings throw. That Ichor gets sublimated immediately as you fall unconscious. We talked about that last time the same thing happened. And it is going to make a DC 13 dex throw. Not a super dexterous creature. It's pretty good. Let's see what we get here. It rolls a 3, so it has a 6. It fails, and it takes how much damage?
2d8, which will be 8 and 6, which
14?
is 14.
That does a significant amount of damage to it. The what happens here is narratively, right? The giant elk smashed its horns, locked its horns with the other elk, with Gulb in between, and to everybody's surprise, who happens to be nearby, Gulb made a big crackling sound, and lightning shot out from him into the antlers of both these creatures, damaging the standing one. It too has now just passed to under half of its hit points, as Belvari did that. Yoshika, you're in a tree. You see this happening. One of the elk has died. The other has just gotten electrocuted somewhat. You're in a tree with a giant rat below you, 15 feet below you, and you strongly suspect, because it is a rat, that rats can climb.
I'm, as a bonus action, going to cast Shillelagh on my staff and then jump down and whack that guy.
Okay, 15 feet.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the same thing I gave Matt, except this is a much, much smaller target, significantly smaller. So I'm going to give you a 5 is a damage failure on falling that far. I'm going to give you 5 and 15 as your bracket for damage versus critical.
So acrobatics check first.
Just do an acrobatics check on a 5 to 15.
Was that a 4? Let's see. 4 plus
4
2.
plus
6.
2 is 6.
Okay.
So you don't do double
Barely.
damage. You would have gotten double damage with a 15 plus, but you also don't take fall damage. You landed it because you got above a 5. So you're going to land it. If you hit it, you will do some damage. Otherwise, you just are down there with it.
Okay. Then I just roll a normal attack.
Yeah, roll a normal attack.
Okay, so okay, so I do with my modifier 8.
Does not hit. The giant rat sees you.
Oh wait. Oh, a D20. Sorry, I rolled a D8 for damage.
Just click the little. Oh, you have a shillelagh. Okay, yeah, go for it. Roll a D20.
Okay.
And you might have a
14.
modifier to that.
15, 16, 17,
You
18.
definitely hit. Yeah. And what's the damage you do? A D8, I guess you said.
Yeah.
This rat is in perfect health, but you're hitting it right now for 1d8.
So 10.
This rat is no longer in perfect health. Your shillelagh, which is a blunt but good weapon there, somehow, despite being blunt, manages to cleave the rat in half. So
Yeah.
That's the roughest way to be cloven in half.
that's right. The rat is still alive. It will attack you now. No, I'm just kidding.
Which end?
That's right.
No, does it get 2 attacks?
That's right. It's a whip attack with the
Two
tail
rat.
and its intestines, as they say. Okay,
It had a reaction.
that's right. That's right. The rat is dead. No, it had 7 hit points. You just did 10. It is devastated and crushed. You are now 30. You are 60 feet from the main action, but you're at the base of this tree, safe.
Okay.
It is now Davina's turn once again.
I love that Gulb has literally lost consciousness between the lives of the rats in this battle. Like he's literally dying among the rats.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Davina, you're up.
Okay. So at this point, there's one big guy left, and
he's hurt.
My friends are falling around me, as far as I can tell. I think I'm gonna jump. Let's see what choices I'm only like 6 feet up. Does that count as a jump or a?
No, you can scramble
something?
that because
I'm
you'll
gonna
have a ladder
get
there too.
out of the tree.
Yeah, just go 6 feet down.
Okay, I'll get out of the tree and I will use that shillelagh and whack at the back of a knee.
Take it down.
All right. Do I do the hit DC?
Yeah, you can just click the button on the. Oh, you don't have a shillelagh there, so yeah, roll your
I do
to
now.
hit. Do you have a shillelagh button? Oh, that's a great hit. You definitely hit with a 22.
18 plus 4.
Okay.
I love the start.
Finally, I'm useful.
That's right. So you jump down and you've got your shillelagh there, and you land and you just do like this kind of a baseball bat sort of swing straight at the back of at the bone part where its ankle is, its knee, which is its knee is roughly shoulder height to you. So what damage do you do?
Whoa.
Big boy.
Shillelagh damage 10.
10 damage. That is a powerful hit.
So you rolled an 8 on the D8 plus your 2 wisdom.
That's the sound of bone crushing.
That's right. This thing gets seriously hurt. Davina, ready to suck the marrow of life from this elk, splits its shin bone to make good on its attack. Gulb needs to make a death savings throw for his attack. His attack on death.
Crud.
Green for life.
Let's go.
Crud.
3.
Okay.
Failure.
Death is pretty easy to hit, but you can't hit it with a 3.
So, and you're at death's door, as it were. Sorry, 1 second here. So that means you failed 1?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just following along as I do it, so I'm making sure I know what's happening. It is now Diamondback's turn again.
This is really tricky because I want to render medical attention to Gulb, but I'm within melee range of this creature, and if I try to back away from it,
you'll die.
I'll probably get absolutely murdered. So I think that it's going to be
Gulb like splattered on the front of the creature
Gulb
that
is
you're-
right here, isn't he?
Where? Let me roll for where you landed, because this is a big elk. Like, it's big. If you have to move 10 feet to get to its head.
I mean,
How close is Gulb to me?
I was going to say, he's probably on the other side of the antlers from me, right? He just jumps on his back / shoulders, back of the head. That'd be a pretty instinctive place to
You're
leap
up in
onto something.
I was going to have him go center of mass. Which would be like the middle of the creature, which is a good, 15-foot long creature. I'll say that puts you about 7 or 8 feet away from Gulb.
Away from Gulb.
Yeah.
And would I have to move outside of this creature's melee range in order to get to Gulb?
This creature's melee range is
probably 5. Would I have to go more than 5 feet from this creature to get to Gulb?
Oh no, I'm right there. I'm in front of it. I mean, this thing's
Gulb
range
is attached to this creature's melee weapon.
You're running towards the living creature if you're going towards Gulb.
Oh, am I not in melee range of it right now?
You are. You're in. It has 2 melee attacks. One of them is 5 foot. One of them is 10 feet. So you're within melee range.
I'm asking. Okay, yeah.
He's already in. Yeah, no.
I'm already in melee range, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're already well within his melee. He's got to have at least a 10-foot reach because of his size.
The reason I'm asking is I want to go to Gulb but I don't want to draw an opportunity attack. And if I leave its melee range to get to Gulb, I draw an opportunity attack. So that's what I'm asking.
You're already in melee range, and you will stay in melee range if you go to Gulb.
Awesome. So
Yay.
Another question is, I have a spell here that is not a wizard spell, but I'm a wizard. What's the penalty for using it?
Half efficacy.
Okay, but he doesn't actually... Awesome. Yeah, so I'm going to do it anyway because he just needs some hit points to stop dying. I am going to rush over to Gulb, and I'm going to take the fur of the spiny-tailed crocodile and mix it with the bark of a water root elm.
Okay.
That makes no sense at all.
The magic causes mutations.
Ah, got it.
And going to cast the Cure Wounds spell on Gulb.
Okay.
By touching him. So I guess I'm going to mix these things together and like rub it on him.
This is the black handprint spell.
Poof, black handprints. Yeah. So it's supposed to be a 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. So I'll roll a 1d4.
No, just roll your one. Yeah, actually, sure. We'll cut that number that way. You could have also rolled a 1d8 and cut it in half. Do a 1d4. That's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
It's a 4 plus 2 is 6.
Okay.
You regain 6 hit points.
You regain 6 hit points, Gulb.
Nice.
All right. Do you have any other things to do there, Matt?
Gulb can die 4 times in one day.
Gulb coughs out a really prodigious amount of blood. Like a really... Like, that's... No one should be alive. Like, that's impossible to be alive.
Second self of blood.
You're like...
You know what?
Nods at
you know what? I am going to attempt something.
Okay.
This is yeah, no. I'm gonna risk getting the attack now, running away from it, versus getting like charged by it or whatever later.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and run up the tree to my crow's nest again. Use my movement for that.
Okay. That sounds fine.
But it's gonna be able to opportunity attack me as I go by, as I pass out.
Which is just a regular attack, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's going to use its...
Does that use its attack for the next round?
No,
or
it's
not?
a special kind of attack called an opportunity attack that just gets...
Yeah,
for free.
but it uses... It does expend its reaction. So it won't be able to react to anything else if it does this.
Okay.
So it will do that again.
Right.
It sees you climbing, and it's going to use its hooves to, smash at you. Let's see what it rolls. An 11.
An 11 does not hit. My armor class is 13.
Okay. It is now the...
Sick it. Sorry, PG. Sorry.
Okay. But I'm up the tree. I'm up in the crow's nest.
You're up in the tree. You're in the crow's nest.
Yes. Okay.
It is the giant elk's turn again. It is going to, having had its back leg smashed really hard, it's going to react to that and kick backwards at Davina. It is using its hooves attack, and it rolls a 20. Does that attack hit?
Oh, I have armor class 15.
Okay, it does hit. A giant hoof slams into you. Diamondback, looking down, flashes back to when a hoof hit him in the chest and knows that you are probably not enjoying the sensation. The creature does quite a bit of damage potentially quite a bit of damage. Let's see. Sorry, let me find my... When it's serious, I always like to roll with physical dice. What did you say, somebody?
The hooves of these forest creatures are indeed painful to encounter.
Diamondback muses to himself.
Also, some hooves of non-forest creatures.
And takes a deep breath and realizes, oh, thank goodness for magic, or I wouldn't be able to breathe right now.
All right. Davina, this is a potentially significant hit, so let's see what happens here. We did hit you. It was not a critical, which is good, but it was a clear hit. And you are going to have to take... 18 damage.
Oh, ow! What?
Guys, I only have 10 hit points.
So
That
the good
means
news is,
you're
Okay.
dead. You're not double dead. So
Good
you're
news
not
is
dead.
this
you're
is not an
dead.
instant death like what happened to Sleen. However, you do fall immediately unconscious, just as Gulb recently was. You lay there. Sorry, I'm actually going to say the hoof slams into you, and because it's kicking back straight at you because you just smashed your shillelagh into its leg, it throws you back 4 feet. You just fly backwards with a giant, cavity just crushed into your chest. You've got broken ribs, and you are severely damaged. It did 18 damage to you. If it had done 20, you would have been dead instantly, permanently. What instead this means is there's not, in Dungeons and Dragons now, there's not negative hit points. What really happens is you just go to 0, right?
Right.
And you will start doing death saving throws unless somebody can remedy this. If you take another attack from the elk and it does your max hit points, which is 10, if it does 10 damage on a single attack to you next, you're permanently dead. While you're unconscious.
Hear me out. We need to option ourselves to a medium-high budget Russian TV show because we need this moment cinematographically for Gulb's eyes to open up as he's healed, and he looks and he locks eyes with Davina, and then he
As
sees
I'm
the
flying
hoof
away
kicker,
backward.
and he just screams, "No!" Blood. It's just blood. He's screaming no in blood.
That's right.
Trying to come alive to try to come after her as he sees her body go sailing away.
Absolutely. That's
like
exactly what happens because Gulb, as soon as he wakes up, right, his first thought is to this life debt that he has, and he looks to make sure she's okay, makes eye contact right as she gets ragdolled. And
Hey, here's your chance to get paid back, Davina.
All right.
Yeah.
And I have to take a break at this point to make a tiny person be unconscious.
Yeah, no problem. Belvari, it's your turn.
Okay, Belvari as a lion and with a ripe number of hit points that nobody seems to want to take away, will jump on this elk and bite him with all of his vigor.
Go, Dwight. Go, Dwight. Go, Belvari. Go, Belvari.
Is anyone within 5 feet of is Gulb within 5 feet?
Yeah, Gulb and not Diamondback, but Gulb is within 5 feet.
Diamondback's up a tree.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I might be there, but I'm useless.
So I get pack tactics advantage for that.
Beautiful.
Oof. I'm going to take that 8, add the 5 that the lion gets. Yeah, so that's what 13, and then I'm going to roll my d6 from
Nice.
Bardic Inspiration. Oh, well, actually, does 13 hit?
You have to decide.
You don't get to know that yet. You have to figure out if you want to do it before you know the outcome.
It said I can do it
after you roll, but before you know the outcome.
Oh, right, gotcha. Okay, so yeah, I'll 14. Does 14 hit? Dang it.
His AC is 14.
That does hit then.
So,
all right.
It does hit.
Nice.
You make it? Is that?
You just made it.
Okay.
Wow.
So I used everything I had on me to.
That's right. Not only did he leap and throw to bite, but he strained really hard the whole time.
The other D20 was a 1, so I rolled a 1 and an 8 to hit.
Wow.
Great. Okay, so now I roll a D8 plus something. I'll look that up.
Remembering how large his mane is.
That's right.
He strikes.
Yes, I remembered. 7 plus 3, so 10 damage, 10 bite damage.
All right. It is. This elk is in terrible shape, but it is not dead. It has a broken back leg from Davina. It is scorched on its hide from Gulb's electrical reaction that he had. Belvari, do you have anything else you're doing, or are you good there?
I think that's all I can do.
Okay, Yoshika's turn.
Okay, I am going to approach the gigantic elk.
You're 60 feet away.
Yeah, so I'm only going to make it halfway.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, I ate your fawn this morning and picked my teeth with his little horns. For another vicious mockery.
All right, let's see what happens. He has to make a wisdom saving throw on a 13. That's my recollection. Is that right?
Where do I find that again? Spells?
Yep.
On a 14.
A 14?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to roll this in by hand again because I like when something hangs in the balance. I like the tactile sort of visceral part of it. He's rolling a wisdom saving throw on a DC 14. I roll a 11, which I do not make then. I rolled a 9, got a +2 for his wisdom. What happens?
Okay, he takes 2 psychic damage and he gets disadvantage on his next attack.
So he actually gets severe disadvantage on his next attack because he only had 1 hit point left. So here's what you see happen.
Nice.
Running in pristine shape from the edge of the forest, you hear Yoshika just rip into this giant elk with the most heart-rending... Yoshika didn't know, but this giant elk's eldest child actually does have small horns. And this elk, in its agony and confusion, lifts its head up into the trees, and its antlers get locked in the branches, and you hear it bellow. Just this wail comes from its throat of grief and sorrow, and the whole thing just collapses. Its heart broken, it dies.
Diamondback is crouched on the tree in like cool ninja pose, and he looks down at Yoshika and he's like, "That's a wicked technique, man. That's a wicked technique."
Okay, so that is the end of that creature. Wow, I really expected somebody to die from this. Just to say, I mean,
Me too.
2 people got
Somebody
really
has
close.
to render immediate
almost
medical
died.
assistance to Davina.
That's right. So before we do that, let me do a little bit of quick narrative wrap up here because we've also got Davina is not currently on the stream and neither is Josh. So I'm going to do a little bit of wrap up on this first. But basically, you guys have now a giant elk laying at the base of your tree. It is definitely too big for you to move. You have another giant elk that, having gone rampant, so it's... Oh, there you go, Aaron. Hey, you're back. Basically, you heard what happened to the elk, right?
No.
Oh.
I heard that it had 1 point left, and its eldest child had an area of sensitivity.
That's right. He was sensitive about in elk culture. It had small horns, and Yoshika just happened to attack that. It reared up on its hind legs, one of which was broken because of you. Its hind leg was broken. It reared up, but stumbled and collapsed with its antlers now locked in the tree limbs, and it hangs there, and it bellows out this long, lowing cry, and you hear its heart break just like its leg, and it gives up its spirit into the woods.
Okay.
The elk is dead. Now, what has happened is you have a giant elk laying on the ground at the base of your big tree. It is definitely too big to move. The 60-foot radius around the tree, about a quarter of it, about a third to a quarter of it, down the hill, which is to the southwest, is bathed in elk blood. Like just a huge area of blood. You will be walking in and out of the blood to get it if you leave the tree or go into the tree, just because of the way the hole is. There is a giant rat about 3 feet tall and about 6 feet long, its head, a chill touch, ephemeral hand reached up, grabbed its snout, and pulled it into the earth. It is lodged. That was Diamondback. That's right. It is lodged head first in the earth with its tail sticking up. And another rat over by the tree where Yoshika tried to pull a Diamondback. He jumped out of the tree and cleaved it in half with a deep slash from his cudgel.
Maybe into thirds. One third's gone, and the other two thirds.
That's right. Okay, so we're in good shape. Hey, listen, this time we did not get a chance to do 2 episodes. This battle was like really pitched and intense. So we had an extra long episode this time. That's okay. Let's do experience.
Wait, do I have to wait until next week to find if my saving throws result in life?
No, we'll do all that right now. I was just trying to give a little bit more chatter to see if Josh comes back. But let's go ahead and do our stuff. I will have Gulb also. I'll play for Gulb in the meantime. We're out of initiative. Did somebody have something to say?
Well, I mean, if she's hanging on the balance of life and death, I rush to her to make medicine checks to stabilize her.
Okay. Remind me again how a medicine check works. I don't quite understand what that means.
I'm not sure exactly what the DC is, but I'm guessing it's 10, where you can stabilize somebody so that they get 1 hit point and stay unconscious, or maybe they don't get 1 hit point, they stay at 0 hit points and they stay unconscious, but they're not dying, they're not making death saves anymore. So if we were still in initiative, we would be racing the clock to see who could make a successful medicine check before she made her last failed death saving throw. But also, you probably want to rule that since
in case this is helpful, as soon as I see her, I would try to do a spare the dying spell.
Okay.
I don't know if it's worth doing that first.
1 second.
Well, if we're out of initiative, we can stabilize her without spending a spell, probably. The DM will probably rule that, like us we will be able to make 1 successful medicine check in, 3 times at a minimum 3 death saving throws. So at least 9 medicine checks would probably get at least 1.
Okay.
Okay, it is. Sorry, I was looking up the difficulty of that. It is a DC 10. You're right, and so what we're gonna do here is she was super badly hurt, but you all can run over to her. Gulb, Yoshika, and Diamondback are in human form, as well as Davina, but Davina's unconscious,
barely in a form.
Those 3 of you in human form, and Belvari, if you want to switch out of lion form, if you are allowed to as well, can each make a medicine check, which is a DC 10. And at the same time, I'm going to have Davina make a death saving throw. And if y'all have to do this repeatedly, there's a chance she could die, but it's really small at this point.
What am I rolling for a death saving throw?
You're just going to roll a D20, and it's a 50-50, so 10 or better. It's actually a little better than a 50-50. 10 or better, and you get a you get a passing. Less than 10, you get a failing.
My medicine check succeeds. I get a 8 plus 2 is 10, so I stabilize her.
Matt is there first. He is able to stabilize her, keep her from dying. She is severely damaged. You've got 1 hit point now, Davina. That's what that's going to mean. Belvari, are you still a lion?
Yeah, I'll stay a lion. I don't know. It might be useful for cleaning up.
Sure. So basically, those of you, now that your adrenaline has gone down, you can also hear a dog barking from the edge of the circle. Belvari, I'm assuming you trained it well not to attempt to take on a giant elk.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Belvari's dog can be heard. Davina, you have 1 hit point. Gulb, you have some damage, but you're okay. Yoshika, you're not hurt yet. Diamondback,
I'm all right.
You're all right, and Belvari is all right. Okay, great. The tree is significantly cracked and damaged. It has, I had a hit point thing for it, and it was taking some damage. It is less secure than it was, and you will not be able to fix it. But it's still a hollow tree. It's still secure, definitely more than rolling around in the blood for the night. So,
And we can't get anywhere else. And anyone that wants food is going to eat the giant carcasses outside our front door instead of burrowing for us.
So that's right. And you've got 1 hour approximately until night. I recommend, half hour or something like that. I recommend that you use that to get into your shelter. But you do what you will. Davina, you can give yourself some hit points, but you also just need to deal with that. Do you want to narrate anything about how you're getting ready for the night? Oh, sorry. You can use this time to get components from the 4 creatures. There are enough of you that you could do all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want components. Okay. All the components.
Let's see what we get.
Can I take a quick break first?
Yes. Let's do a quick break.
Do somebody else first.
Say it again?
You can do somebody else first.
Okay, sure. Anybody who does not need a quick break, I think we got about 5 or 10 minutes left before we close out the episode. One long episode for the night. Who would like to go first on one of the 4? We've got 2 elk and 2 rats.
I'll go with the elk. And I'm going to burn a detect magic to basically make a perfect harvest of it.
Can we move all the creatures into a pile and you just in detect magic? That's like a
no. There's no way you're going to move these elk. They are really, really big. Also, it just works on one at a time.
We can drag the rats over to the elk, but yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do, I pulled up 12 elk gulb. And they all have they're variations of elk, right? So they all have different levels of magic in them. So what I want you to do is roll me a d12, and you'll get one of these elk.
I'll do the same thing he's doing to the other elk.
And okay, that sounds fine.
I'll give her a. Do you have anything that does that? Because if not, Gulb will hand you a piece of white striped newt brain.
Okay. Davina, do you already have detect magic spell stuff?
No, I don't need to because there are 2 elk and we're looking for components of animals that are consistent. So whatever his thing detects, I will harvest the same piece from the other guy.
They're not the same, not necessarily the same variation of elk.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's okay. I burned a detect magic thing for you, so we both get it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
What you got? Roll me a d12 each of you.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. That's a good one. And Davina?
I got a 9.
Which is a...
That can't be right. No, I think I rolled the wrong thing, didn't I?
Roll a d12.
Did I I must have had something else selected also.
Yeah, it looks like you rolled 2 20s.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Okay, I got a 9.
Okay, great.
The dice have not liced tonight.
That's right. On a roll like this, where you can't possibly know what a 9 signifies, it doesn't matter to me if you roll a whole bunch. It's just completely random. So even if you're not sure, feel free to say no. I want to re-roll that. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, you rolled a 9 and he rolled a 10. Let's see. So let's do Davina's first. Davina, you got a grim-backed elk.
Okay.
And the only thing magical in it were its eyes, which you take.
Okay.
And you get 2 of them because there are 2. And Gulb, you got a spiny-backed elk. Elk. A spiny-backed elk.
Okay. And what part of it did I get?
Roll me a d10.
Okay.
That's how many components you're going to get out of it.
5.
Okay. So there are only 3 that are magical. If it was just a random 5, there's a chance you could have gotten all lame ones. But you guaranteed to get the 3 magical ones, which is great. You get the tail.
Nice.
And specifically, you get This is a really big creature, so I'm going to actually give you more components than usual. I'm going to double up on what you can get out of it.
Nice.
And you get 6. Nope, sorry. I'm doubling it, so you get 8 of the tail.
Okay.
Like, pieces of tail. You get both of its eyes. It only has 2 eyes. And you get all 4 of its... it's the foot part that's not the hoof, not the hoof proper, but like the fleshy part, which is I'm calling the paw here.
Okay.
And you get those. Okay, those are the components from the 2 elks. Who would like to work on the rats?
I'll go on the... I'm probably closer to the one that I didn't smush.
You're actually halfway between them. So you're the closest
I'll
one
take
to
the
those.
rat. I'll take the rat that I killed.
Okay, sounds good. What we're going
That's
to do
my
here...
kill. It's going into my pouch.
Yep. And roll me a D12, each of you.
D12 is this one. That's a 6 for me.
Okay.
12.
And a 12. All right. 1 second here. Oh, crud, man. Sorry. Wow.
Sounds like a haul.
It could have been. Sorry, let's see. It was a 12. I'm sorry, what did y'all roll?
12.
12. Okay, and a 6. Roll me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll me a D6, Matt.
Sure. 1.
Okay, that's not terrible. You still get a good component out of it. And Yoshika, roll me a D6 as well. It might still be a good haul. Let's see what happens.
6.
Okay. So you get all of the components out of yours, Matt, and... Jared. And Matt gets 1. And this is a tricky one. I don't actually have a mechanic for this yet, but here's what you get. Yoshika, you have a broad-backed rat.
Okay.
And you get 2 skin, 3 blood, 4 feet, all 4 feet, 2 tongue pieces, 4 scat, and 5 brain pieces.
Wow.
Wow, man, this is a tricky roll here for Matt. I want you to roll me, please. You just get 1 piece, right?
Yep.
1 thing. Just roll me a D6.
6.
Okay. You get the brain. You get... Let me see what you got here. You get 2 pieces of brain from the rat.
What kind of rat is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Spiny-tailed rat.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that spiny tail that's sticking up out of the ground.
That's right.
Yep.
McGuckin's Nightmare Pets. Come on down and check out our spiny-tailed rats. Sure to give your grandkids nightmares and McGuckin's terrible family pets.
That's good. All right. Okay. Wow, that was great. Y'all got some serious experience for that too. Let's do experience and then...
I was going to say, for the love of all that is holy, if Gold does not level after this, I am going to rage quit Dungeons & Dragons as a game for the rest of this life.
No, you won't.
No, y'all did great.
don't
Y'all
do
got good, solid experience.
We got a good seven or 8 experience. I'm gonna reach
It's a
deep
hard
into the
world.
bottom of my jelly beans and count.
All right. Okay. You each get. Sorry, give me 1 second here. And let me.
That's the beauty of it. Everything has a value, and it is done by the table. So the table says.
And Belvari killed something more than the rest of us did. He had his own little battle that gets him something.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
Blood
next
Bear.
episode, I want some time with you, Belvari. I'm also a druid, but I don't know that shapeshifting stuff that you are doing. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
I
as soon as
actually
you,
do, but you can teach it to
As
me.
soon as you
Right.
level up, you
All right.
learn.
Gulb, you have 145 experience. I'm just playing with you.
I was like,
That put
so
him,
help me God.
that put him 5 away
So-
from leveling.
If you toy with my emotions, like, well, 145 would have put me 5 over. I thought that was like leaving me a 1 cent tip in the bottom of my water glass.
No,
Seeing like, yeah, you get to level.
you actually each get 190 experience. Except
Nice.
for Belvara, you also had an additional encounter, which gave you an additional. Sorry, 1 sec. 190. And Davina, for the episodes where you were gone, I already added your experience that you got.
Thank you.
For,
Awesome.
for what you did before. Belvari got an additional.
That's what that taste is. So, Robert, I had forgotten what it was like to taste real XP that came with the real
fight.
the real foamy aromatic head of my own blood and mortality as a
There you
character. I haven't tasted blood in my XP for a while.
Like Mama used to make.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Wow.
That made real orcs.
Belvari, you got another 100 for your bear.
Okay.
Like Mama used to make.
That's right.
So real quickly, before we wrap up for the night, which is just in a second here, but Davina, I think several of you are going to level next time.
After a long rest.
I've got. It looks to me like Davina, you're probably going to level. I'm just saying this to be helpful. Hopefully, it looks like Yoshika is going to level and Gulb is going to level. Leveling happens at a long rest, so do not level up until you have a successful long rest. Which means if you
Do it now.
do a long rest, and you get interrupted, you're not going to level till you get a full long rest. Okay. However, it is now dark. It is 6 o'clock. PM. If you had a clock, you would say 6 o'clock. It is now dark. You are huddled in your tree with your components. There is time for a long rest for each of you, assuming nothing happens. I have one last really, really important thing to do before we quit for this evening, which is that I need each one of you to roll
Can Gulb just do something that'll take 1 second? Gulb goes out to the edge of the rainstorm and he does something where he calls out like a cicada, and then he grabs a few different types of leaf and he brings them back with him and he begins weaving them together. And it's just like a thing that he has to do for his tribe.
Okay.
So anyway, keep
Sounds
going.
good. Yeah, that's great. I want each of you to make me an insight check. This is a fairly important one. Let me give it a DC first. Don't tell me what you rolled until I get a DC for it. Okay. Go for it.
Also, I hope we grabbed the steak or two.
$14 for me.
Okay.
Could have been great, but it was just a 9.
Yoshika,
22.
22 for Davina. Yoshika
12.
and Belvari,
14.
13. Okay. Davina,
14.
so 14. Sorry. Okay. Sounds good. Davina, you notice something about what's been happening with the frogs and the boar and these elk and stuff like that. And I'll let you other guys hear, but Davina, in character, this information has to be passed along and acted upon. You have had significant escalation. Basically, you've been here for 6 watches now, which is a full night and a full day. And your encounters are getting more and more frequent as you are staying sort of hunkered down here in a not citied place, a not town place in the woods. Not only that, but with each encounter, they're getting more and more difficult in general. There's a trend. You have a significant suspicion, because you had such a good roll, that the longer you stay in a place that is not, let's call it something like civilized, the more the nearby animals are attracted and detecting you, so that staying here significantly longer is going to draw more creatures and harder, bigger, terribler ones. So I will let you on next episode see if you want to try to convey that to the others. However, your option, and just to let you guys know, we roll mechanically, you already know this, but each watch, day and night, I roll for a random encounter. The DC is getting easier and easier each watch that you stay in the same place. The DC is getting lower, so you're more likely to have encounter, and the more encounters you have, the tougher it is. The tougher the creatures, because they're coming from further away to find you. You're getting the guys that are coming further away. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up here for the evening, but Davina, you might want to tell them that your alternatives as you're starting this night is either to deal with the fact that you're getting higher and higher likelihood of an attack. You can either deal with that by fleeing to another place, but it is now dusk. Dark has just come upon you, and so that's not a great option. You still have a pretty secure tree. It's got some damage to it, but it's still pretty secure, and there is a giant elk, plus it's raining. There's a giant elk laying in the ground. There is a giant elk with its antlers, horns locked in the tree, hanging from the tree like a giant macabre Christmas ornament. And there's a bunch of ichor and gore all around you.
It's a grim warning.
It is a grim warning to anything sentient. Okay. So there you go.
They were.
What's that?
I said like they were.
Like they were. That's right. That is where we will end this episode. Thank you for listening. We will pick up next episode with them beginning their second night in this same place in the jungle, in the forest now. They're not in the jungle anymore, in the forest. Thanks for listening. You can get more details about the world that we're exploring and the story that we're telling at the starfallcollective.com. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Night.
See you guys.